Howdy, folks. Welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I'm Joe, your DM for this and most evenings, and joining me are my friends Matt, Dan, Kara, Olive, and Ari. We might have a little bit of lag to start. We'll see. I don't know. Somebody let me know if it's okay.
It seems okay.
Yeah,
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I did some changes, so things might take a second to get caught up.
That just happened.
We'll get there. Okay.
We're buffering.
A couple of seconds, or a couple of things before we get started. First of all, we have a couple ways that you can support the channel. We have bits and channel points. Bits are Twitch's microcurrency. Channel points are something that you earn just by watching, and you can use them to shape the story in a couple different ways. We also have social media at TTRPG. We have a couple different things that you can kind of see, although actually we don't have much up except for food, but that is still there. There you go.
You're fuzzy.
I'm fuzzy. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what Talon said. Everything else is fine, but you're still
Okay.
fuzzy.
Well, hang on. I could try something for that. Ugh. Real quick.
This is the
maintenance mode.
ASMR portion of face touching and brushing. We're just
Well, they shouldn't actually hear that because it's not. This though.
oh.
Okay. So,
I missed that. What?
no worries. We also have a website, alberonrpg.com. It's a you can see all kinds of things over there. Socials is still not set up. I still haven't done that. We also have a D&D campaign, which is on every Friday at 8:30 p.m. or sorry, 8:30. Jeez, I'm dying today. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Send help.
That is going to be session 2 of our brand new Feywild campaign, Courts of Everest. Oh gosh, I'm like dying mostly because I'm just looking at this and it's bothering me that it's lagging.
Oh no.
And I can't tell if it's lagging on the stream or not.
Nah, you're good.
No, Talon said you're fine.
Oh.
Cool.
Talon said he felt like he was just grabbed and shaken by you.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, he's happy for it.
Yeah, I assumed it was happy.
Yeah. So a couple of the other thing for the smooth jazz music that we have behind us, we have Sirenscape, which is a digital tool set that you can use to add sound effects just like this smooth jazz. You can also add drums. You could add a Wilhelm scream, all kinds of things on Sirenscape. And with that, they can get us into our recap. Give me 1 second here.
There it is.
Mosaic Team 5. Last we played, you had more family dinners in the drift. So many more. Multiple times in one day, in fact. However, Shade, you did discover that there was more to the ship than you had previously known, taking some time to finally try to upgrade your systems, your system defenses, and things of that nature. Spise, you finally were able to relent to your teammates and give a little bit more background on Akaton, on yourself, and by way of that, on the GPF as well.
Mm-hmm.
You finally arrived, all of you, at Akaton, the swirling red planet in the dark blanket of the galaxy, in pursuit of Sitsu Aglo Van Taysin of Clan Elme. This Kasatha, former potential GPF operative, now a military governor. Oh, here, I'll pop up this close-up camera that we have now. Wow.
Governor seats.
Look at that.
Seats.
That's it.
You decided, after surveying an element of the planet, using Gibbs' ability to hone in on a single individual's location, to land at the caverns around Chump's Run, the mouth entrance to
I thought it was the
canyon.
Worm's Tune.
No, it's in the Worm Tune Waste.
Oh, okay.
The Wormtune Waste is the region.
Chump's Run is the place where people go
Got
to
it,
die.
Yeah, Chump's Run is a place where chumps go
Chumps
to
go
run.
to, yes. Run
From
to death.
giant worms.
You all gracefully descended a portable ladder. Well, some of you. Until Gibbs decided to heely wheel her way down the ladder, knocking Echo over. Bubs, you were able to save Echo at the last minute, grabbing them by the wrist, using your rocket propulsion to make the last couple inches of that leap. You all found your way safely down. And with Spise doing sand angels in the warm sand, that is where we begin this evening. Give me one moment here.
Can you remind me? So the place is sandy. Is it like a desert? Like when we go
It's
out
like sandstone, right?
But
Or
when we
in
go out of the
caverns.
cave, is it like hot or is it like
It is arid.
beachy or yeah?
That goes a die. Oh, thanks. Oh, that's my step up. Thanks.
Okay.
Step up 2 in the streets.
So to answer your question, as you exit these caves, you can see a thin line, almost like blue lightning, that traces across. This is the sky above, tinted a little bit red, 40 to 50 feet above you. And then narrow on either side, you can see these tall shelves of sandstone striated through shades of red and orange, and here and there little elements a little bit darker than that. And in front of you, you can see uneven, sandy ground, such that it's not quite difficult terrain, although you would imagine there may be areas where it is. There are orange-red rocks that break out through the sand here and there. You don't really see any life. On your flight over, you had seen evidence of massive worms that had kind of dug their way through here, but right now you don't see anything.
Some wormholes.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a perception check if you want, but at the moment you don't see
okay.
wormholes.
Yeah, I want to do some perception. I want to see.
Oh yes, yes, baby.
18.
18.
Hold up, 28.
Okay.
All right.
It's a whiz stat.
With a 28, you take a moment to really take in the area around, and looking, you can see there isn't evidence here of worms. You don't see big holes, you don't see cracks in the sand or the sandstone, but you do see, looking around, there isn't a ton of wind in the canyon here, and so still, although there has been efforts to erase, you can see that there are footprints along the right side of the cavern.
Going in or out?
In.
Are they footprints or are they like little hover tracks?
Are you showing them to everybody else?
Yeah, I say like.
Bus tracks.
Oh.
Or hover bus tracks.
Tank treads, I believe, is what we were told.
There are tank treads. These are separate from that.
Okay.
These are more hidden. Or not.
Here's an attempt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks like. And then I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And so I'm gonna walk with my tail down in the back and do the swisha washa wisha to get rid of our tracks.
Make a survival check.
Okay.
So are we moving now? Are we following the tracks?
Up to you.
Also a wisdom stat, so 27.
Okay.
Can I retcon a little bit and say that I made gingerbread cookies and brought them with me? Or
Did you actually make gingerbread cookies and bring them with you?
You did. You brought ginger snaps.
Shade pulls out. I made gingerbread cookies.
Keep those. They'll come in handy.
That's the one expansion slot in your Android body. Easy bake oven. I love that. Easy
No
bake-
cooking
easy bake
required.
Android.
That's why there's a ding every so often. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, my cupcakes are done. That's the real
Sure.
secret.
That's fine. So no
That would actually
problem.
be useful.
With Spice chewing on this gingerbread cookie, you all make your way now into the cavern.
Yep.
Oh, do we care about
Alright.
these footprints at all?
Well, you're swishing behind us, right?
Well, that's our footprints. Do we care about the footprints
Well,
heading
we should be
into
tracking
it?
them, right? That's
No,
what we're
no,
doing.
they going into.
Right, that
they're
we're going in.
Oh,
Right.
oh,
It's the direction we're supposed to go,
Oh.
Yeah.
right? Everybody's all.
Correct.
Everyone's going the
Alright.
same
Would I
direction.
be able to make a perception check to see if how much weight this individual has with his footprints?
That'd be a survival check.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can definitely see what you can discern from the footprints.
I'm gonna try to make out. This is like a vest or something. A 17 plus
And to your point, it is quite warm. It's not humid.
12. So
And so relatively tolerable here in the shade.
Right.
But here and there you can see areas where the shaft of the sun goes down, and you'd imagine quite hot there.
like a 29.
shaft's
I'm
quite
trying
hot.
to get like an idea of just like how much of an imprint the footprints were. This person's like stride.
And what
Can
was
I-
this? You got a
29.
29. With
Just like
29,
a general like perception. You know when
tape
you can like
measure.
yeah.
It's more than one person.
Okay.
As they walk in single file to hide their numbers, you can't quite tell how many people, but you can certainly discern at least 2 or 3 different kinds of footprints, one of which is definitely larger than the others. I would say with that, you get the sense this reminds you of something. These are probably people with training,
No.
but hard to tell anything beyond that.
Guys, I'm looking at these footprints, and you can see like Bubs has like his like eye right down in the sand. There's definitely more than one person walking here. It's definitely like a group. I think we need to be on alert just in case, you know, an ambush or something.
Okay, so I'll pull up the rear, clear our tracks, and watch our... Is that the 9 or the 6? I can never remember.
That would be 6.
All right, I'll watch the 6.
No problem. So what is the marching order that you have? Gibbs in the back.
Spice was like, what the fuck? 9-6?
It's a military term, actually.
Oh, so I guess Spice would know that.
A different military
And
problem.
I would say, Spice, you would recognize that is like when you think about a clock, 12 o'clock is always right in front of the person who's talking.
6 is your
And then you think about the clock. So if somebody's off to your right, you might say something like
At your
3
3.
o'clock. Yeah.
So wouldn't we go 12 and 6?
We're going 12.
Yeah, but...
Gibbs is watching our 6.
And also, if you
Oh,
want to tell
yes.
time in military time, you don't use an analog clock. You use just numbers.
Yeah,
well,
that's how I
military
use my
time is a
clock.
24 hour.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They make it even more complex.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just fucking around.
Oh,
with numbers.
700.
I think it might be canon that Gibbs is like a little dyslexic.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, we're walking.
We're walking at our
And we're
7:30.
Walking.
Who's
Talking
leading
about the
this
intricacies of clocks. I think
You should probably.
Spice.
Okay,
think
yeah.
Spice should-
So
I would
Spice is
follow
going
behind.
to have a weapon drawn, but like kind of keep, it's she's not
Holstered, but-
pointing it in front of her.
I think I'd be.
Is it very dark?
No, it is not even quite dimly lit yet. And I would
Okay.
say you all know, having just gotten off your ship, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
So quickly, it will begin to get dark.
And then get cold.
So I think. Do you want to be second, or were you gonna say?
Yeah, I'll follow up.
Okay, I'll be behind Shade, and then.
Oh, so Echo and I are pulling up the rear.
Okay.
So I tell Echo, I was gonna tell you this when we're out of the ship's ear range, when the ship couldn't hear us. The ship's got some secrets. You should check out the blueprints I got.
I
It
would
might
be,
be
most
pregnant.
interested in seeing those blueprints if you have the time.
Yeah.
Maybe not now.
No, I just meant in general. It's holding something on its belly. Maybe it's a baby ship. That's Gibbs' thought.
It's
Echo just like starts walking along, lost in thought as to like how Gibbs would think of the ship as its belly.
Yeah, there's definitely like implications to that are both confusing and uncomfortable. But as you ponder that, no problem. You take some time, and as you're walking, Spice, you lead this group. You haven't necessarily been through this part of the canyon, although you've been here before.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing that's like super strange to you here. Go ahead and make a perception check as you lead the group.
26.
Okay. With the 26, you walk with all the group behind you, kind of chatting, it would seem, and trying to sort of, you hear this little behind you as Gibbs with their tail just tries to sweep your tracks clean. But you make your way through. It's warm, and here and there you can see up above, maybe 20 feet, halfway up to the area that the sky is, you can see that there are places where the sandstone is not quite as smooth. And there forms like ridges that perhaps people could stand on or walk on. Again, only about 20 feet up, and you don't see anybody. And you get a pretty good sense that you could see most things, but something to keep an eye on.
Okay.
You also notice, as you begin to keep an eye up, there is an area as the canyon begins to narrow a little bit to one of these areas where it is only about 10 feet wide, where all along the walls, it's very hard to see. And here, where it's a little bit dim, the only way that you can kind of see this is there is like an element of light that hits, and for a moment you can see shadow. But there are cracks all up and down the sandstone. And so you would imagine if you were to just walk through the way that you guys are all walking now, that could cause this to collapse inward. It's cracked in this way for about 10 feet, and then seems to kind of clear beyond.
Spice is going to say, she's going to raise her hand because she saw the shadows, and so everybody stops behind her. And then she's going to raise her weapon, so everybody else raises a weapon.
Okay.
And then she just says behind her, I think that crack is gonna collapse on us if we could decide to go through this chasm.
structurally, does that track?
Make an engineering check.
Do I smell gunpowder or people?
Make a perception check.
28.
What?
28.
With the 28, you look at this, and based on the kind of jagged nature of the cracks and the fact that they begin at a point relatively low and then go deeper into the stone, you'd imagine that when it does break, not only, yes, structurally it makes sense, but...
Does it look intentionally done, like,
No.
by someone?
And more pointedly, you can see because this starts at a certain point, it's like erosion.
Just like a fissure that's formed over time? Okay.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. With the dirty 20, you don't smell gunpowder. You don't get the sense that there's like burning ozone or fuel. Nothing of that nature. Although, a little bit further, past this 10-foot area, an area where it seems like the cavern almost closes over top because it's a little darker, you do see a faint blip of light.
There's a blip of light beyond this. I'll say quietly. There's a blip of light beyond this chasm in the darkest part of the next path.
And that's the direction we're supposed to go.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it's Saljoon.
What kind of light is it? Like a natural light or like a reflection of a light?
It was like a blip of light.
What if we collapse this crack, go over the crack, and then greet the friendly stranger beyond?
Wait, why do we think
Is
that the
there a
cracks
way
lead-
to do like a
He said it
controlled
looks like it's
explosion of this, or like using the gravity gun to kind of like force pull it down?
Yeah, I mean,
That
you
would
would certainly
be-
try.
Advantageous in the way that Spice is trying to get.
Yeah, I
have
mean,
happen?
thinking about what Spice is suggesting, you might want to kind of like
Move
push
back a
the
little.
top part away to reduce the weight and reduce the chances of it collapsing in. Yeah, you could definitely try.
Or could we just do it carefully so we don't like announce a crumbly mumbly mess?
If you want to take 20 and really remembering again, kind of looking up, there are these ridges along, and as it gets a little bit darker, there could be things lurking and watching you.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But you could certainly take 20.
Think about the things watching and lurking, and I'm like,
Do we just want to ask who goes there?
could, but we could not.
Presumably it would be the people that we're going to see. Your contact.
Spice is going to yell out, "Who goes there?"
Make a persuasion
Howdy!
check, I guess.
Honey, I'm home.
Persuade the canyon.
It's just bugs. They're all going.
Yeah.
How does the canyon feel about you today?
What was that? Persuasion?
Yeah, let's do it.
There is no persuasion. Diplomacy?
Diplomacy.
Yeah, diplomacy, sorry.
No, 26.
26. Okay. I would say with that, there is like a brief moment where you do see like the shifting in the shadows. And for those of you with weapons, you kind of tense up, and then you see this little lizard kind of skitter out from the shadows. Big bulbous eyes over almost like a flat flounder-like face. And you could just see these eyes, which are almost like shift up on these long kind of stalks, just forward to look at you. And you can see it just kind of licks one eye and just kind of peers at you
Oh
from
my
the
god, I
darkness.
love that thing. It's so cute. Spice, is this toxic?
I mean, I tried to bring home 2 foxes and a reindeer, so if you want to try to bring this
No,
home,
I don't
I'm not
want
going to blame you.
pets.
Is it toxic?
Make a
Is
life
this a
sciences
thing
check.
that I've seen before?
Oh, you're talking about poisonous. I thought you meant like
18?
toxic to bring home another pet.
You like socially toxic.
Yes, that's...
With an 18, you don't necessarily know what this is. You haven't seen this animal before, but there's no bright colors. You don't see any like
Doesn't
obvious
display any
sacs.
of the
Yeah, it
typical
just
traits.
looks kind of like a lizard, and at this moment, you can see it kind of like sees all of you. It licks the other eye, then up to the sand.
I put out the cage with Tiny Tobin.
Okay, you rip out this cage, and in it there is this like fierce feral rat. Just kind of screeches up and gets to the side, and with that, I would say like the lizard almost speeds its way up further. It's a scary sound. And in this cavern, it echoes.
Put Tiny Tobin back.
I'm gonna take out the silent machine gun. And I believe Peep said there was a laser light on it.
I think there's a laser, like a laser
scope.
sight.
Yeah,
Not a
sight.
scope. It's a sight. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna be spreading that around and seeing if I can see anyone like invisible or anything, any laser light where it would be like hitting, and it wouldn't be
Refracting.
hitting. Refracting.
Okay. Yeah. Make a perception.
Yeah. That is a 9 plus. 9 plus 9, 18.
18. As this lizard runs along the edge of the cavern, little bits of dust and rock fall down. And so as you move the laser through, there is like a lot of debris. And so you see a lot of movement. It's hard to really tell. But as far as you can tell, there's nothing there.
Guys, I can't see anything, but
We need to move
I mean, we know something's there, right? Seeing isn't always believing, but we're in a vulnerable place trying to deal with this path blocking thing.
I'm
Are we
gonna
just
shoot.
gonna try to run through it?
I'm gonna shoot the thing down. So like, everyone.
All right.
I'm gonna put away
Step
my
back,
silent machine gun, and I'm just gonna be ready to grab people in case something goes bad.
Can
try
I
to
go
do,
look for
like-
like a tripwire or something?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Tiny dice.
I'm gonna try to shoot the gravity gun
Okay.
to pull it down in a way that's going
Sit
to
at the table and
like
fortune.
clear that 10-foot
I
chasm
know.
area.
Yeah. I've only rolled.
Or
You
like-
look forward
Is
and
it-
backward, and the entire cavern is made out of sandstone and sand. And so using gravity to pull stuff around, a little risky, but go ahead and make an attack roll and don't roll low.
Okay.
Nice.
With the 25, you really focus and you have an eye for detail. In fact, Echo, you pride yourself on noticing small details. And so you really take a moment to examine your surroundings. You don't see any tripwire. You do see these footsteps continue. They don't seem to climb. And so you'd imagine whatever left them not lurking probably above. No tripwires. You don't see anything buried, anything embedded into the walls.
25, and what I'm trying to do is strategically, like what we were saying, push the excess weight to cause it to fall and clear a way for us with the 10-foot
Sure.
spot.
With the 25, you fire out this gravity gun and it hits the top, and a whole portion of the sand into the wind, and you watch as it just is carried away in the wind. It is lighter on top, and so that area does kind of collapse in, but just kind of runs into a easy to climb pile. And you'd imagine if you just kind of stick to the right hand side, which is a little steep and annoying to climb on, you should be fine to make it through.
And then I'm going to just jump across because I have jump jets.
You land.
Would anyone want to ride? And he's gonna like kind of gesture.
No, I'll take it.
But I step in and I go, yes!
No, you can take her.
I guess I would jump back and shuttle the rest of the
Yeah.
team
Echo's
across.
going to-
Just
I'm just gonna take
so
Spice.
how wide is it across?
10 feet?
Probably about 5 feet, and even that now, because you collapsed inside a side of it, it's like steep, and so you're kind of like climbing through sand, but not like hard to do.
Echo's going to try to jump across.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead and make an athletics check. It's pretty low DC.
Get a
gonna-
I wanna
running
roll
jump.
Fireman
Everyone.
carry
Get a
Spice.
running jump.
Okay.
You could probably just
Yeah, that's the idea.
like Looney Tunes across.
Athletics, you said?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be acrobatics because I'm like jumping across.
Yeah, you can take
Okay,
acrobatics. I'll give
it's
that.
going to be a third.
Okay, yeah, with the 30, no problems. Everybody else kind of like tries to figure out, both Gibbs and Spice go over to Bubbles, and like Shade is trying to come back, trying to figure out if other people need a ride. You just run straight across, and with the speed that you have, before there can even really be like a collapse or anything, you wouldn't have even really needed this cleared. You're just across. And from where you are, 30 feet in front of the rest of the party, or 20 feet, you can see a little bit clearer. There is a light, and it's coming from this small, it looks almost like the same kind of shape as a dreidel, and it hovers about 5 feet off the ground and just spins. And where there would be that top to a dreidel, there is just a little light that glows and pulses a faint hue.
Has Echo ever seen anything like this before?
I would say you've probably seen similar things. This is just a little a way marker. Typically they are static, and you can go from one to the other. But as you get closer to this one, and you're about 10 feet away, it seems to almost pull a little away from you. And you would imagine this is one of the ones that you could probably follow somewhere.
I believe it is trying to lead us down a certain pathway.
Does this look like Saljune's like thing?
Does it look like
Yeah.
Seljut? Okay.
Great. Hey, we're gonna go to your friend and we're gonna ask for some favors and things, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna spend the next 10 minutes using a new thing
Okay.
where I can, once per day, I can spend 10 minutes with a planning period, and me and a designated ally can attempt an appropriate skill check at the GM's discretion to influence a merchant and receive a 10% discount on one item you purchase with an item level no greater than your character level -2.
Okay.
So I designate Spise as the ally who gets this boon.
Okay.
Cool.
And the way that I do it is I make you tell me about Seljun, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've met people like this, and I'm using like the insight of what I know about people to find the way that I think you could best swindle him.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
He wants to trade for favors. So maybe we'll see when we get there, I suppose. Thank you.
Sure.
This sounds fun.
And so hearing that, I would say, Gibbs, using that feature, you tell Spice that one of the things to keep in mind, if somebody likes to trade in favors, they're probably willing to bargain them for more than what they're originally going to offer.
Yes.
And that might be a good thing to keep in mind.
I also am willing to trade in favors and very much share that quality.
Well, you all make your way across one way or the other without issue. Some ferried, some carried, and some just running.
Just arm's distance.
As you are all together, you can see in front
much
of you
chemistry
this
at the
little
left side.
beacon that drifts and kind of blips this little light. And if you wish, you can follow it.
Can I follow it by riding on it?
Do you want to try?
Yeah, why not?
Does it have? It's mechanical in nature, electronic.
Can you roll a d6? What?
It's mechanical in nature, electronic, like a little.
Okay.
Is it kind of similar
It
to
still
the
is.
Roomba?
No. So
terms
this,
of, like-
it floats. It floats about 5 feet
Okay.
up. And you can see it's almost like a diamond. However, the middle part has been rounded out. And so as you get really close, if there are any imperfections, you can see it is spinning very fast to keep itself aloft. And on the very top, there is this little light that blips every now and then. And as you get a little bit closer, trying to look at it, it seems to kind of drift and move, keeping about 10 feet in front of you.
Is there a way that I can hack into it to try and figure out like what its coordinate destination is? If it's going to be leading us
Computer's
into
check,
like
yeah, you
a
can definitely make a connection to it using your exocortex. Sorry, you said something, Gibbs?
You know when kids follow the butterfly? This
Yeah.
is my butterfly, but I'm trying to scramble upon it and sit.
So Gibbs, you lick your lips and you're like, I can get on that, and you run up and you leap and you try to grab it, and it does pull away from you. So it is kind of a dive, and your fingers just kind of barely grasp on it, and you fling it, and it kind of bounces into the wall. Ching! And you can see there's like a little spark, and it takes a pretty good amount of damage for it. And the little light is like just barely going. Every time it goes, instead of a little blip, you get like a little. But it's still aloft, however, now wobbly. And so as it drifts, as you get closer, it kind of like.
Well, no, after that, I leave it away.
Okay.
I realize the error of my ways, and I look around a little bashful because I messed up.
What was your computer's check?
dirty 30.
So as you connect to this, that is enough to defeat the firewall that was there, just straight. This is not a super secure device, and so you can gain root access with a 30. With a 30, first of all, this thing, like warning lights going off everywhere. Critical systems failures. It has 1 of 4 hit points left.
wow.
So this thing barely up. Like all the sensors are going off. It's going wild. And you can see that this is leading you. You would imagine, as it does have another machinery code registered, to another one of these way markers.
Does it have like an ETA? Or
It shows you where
Is there-
it is. It's about
okay.
3 minutes away. You're getting close.
there's another node about 3 minutes ahead of us?
Let's watch
Sure.
out for those worms. I know they're out here.
You haven't felt any rumbling. It's been oddly quiet.
We're still on sandstone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe-
When we're not, let me know.
Okay.
Maybe these nodes, emit a frequency that makes the worms, like sick or something. I don't know.
That'd be great.
With my previous computer check, does this thing have that sort of capability?
No. These are really basic capabilities. So it has an ability to hover. It can
And to,
move
like,
backward and forward. It can hover
move
up to
to a
20 feet. And it can go
designated
between 2 points. That's it. So you can follow this, and after about 3 minutes, you do get to a point following this red sandstone pathway.
Do the footprints we've been tracking continue past the wall we knocked down or whatever?
They do.
Okay.
And-
I clock them in my head.
After you get to this next point, about 3 minutes away, you see this little blip, much healthier, the drone that you approach. You're not really a drone. It's a wayfinder. But when you approach this. The first one just stops, and you kind of continue, and finally you can get closer to it. It's like sparking and smoking, and you pass by it, and you begin to approach this next one. And again, just like the first, it begins to kind of pull away. And where you see it kind of moving off to, this is where the cavern begins to split up. There are several canyons now that go away in 4 different arms, it seems like, out. And Spice, you would know that these eventually all kind of lead back to the same place, but each one can follow pretty different paths, and they do shift and move and collapse sometimes, and so you don't necessarily know which way to go.
Okay.
However, as you do have the Wayfinder with you, it drifts towards the second path to the left, and you can follow that without any issue.
Okay.
It begins to smell a little bit more as you approach. For the first time, Gibbs, I think probably you would pick up on this first. You smell oil.
Oil.
Smog.
And smog.
And the smell of just noxious fumes.
Oh my god, it reminds me of home.
In ways it does, although less organically based. This is chemically. And kind of like a gas station.
Does
Like-
it smell like...
Hoagie after taco night.
Ew. Gross. Does it smell like scooter exhaust? Oh, does it smell like bus exhaust? Sorry.
Certainly does.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. It's like traffic.
Oh, yeah, we're getting close.
Send a traffic. Cool.
You go one by one across 3 in total of these Wayfinder beacons that lead you through this complex set of caves.
I leave 2 out of 3 unharassed.
Okay, that's nice. That's a good growth. But one of the things that you do note as you walk by, with some of you having rolled above about a 20 for perception, anybody who did, you would know kind of just shining elements of light or looking through.
Yeah.
There are other caverns off to the side, and had you taken those, there are areas where there are in fact tripwires, where there are in fact areas where as the sand blows, the grains don't go across, and you would imagine that is quicksand, not regular sand. These little beacons taking you the safest route through this place.
Wow, Seljin's real nice.
Well, we'll see. He's
Yeah.
He's a grumpy guy.
I like the grump.
The grump. Give me 1 second.
Pounding cotton candy over here. Sorry.
No problem. Just,
you're good.
sometimes you just gotta pound cotton candy. That's just part of it. So
Part of life.
yeah,
It's
really
so good.
easy. It's really easy too because it just melts.
Disintegrate.
the first things that you can hear as you are moving through these tall canyon walls are sparks, just big of power. And as those kind of spark and break up, there are then areas where you can kind of hear these distant of just gases releasing into the air. And it does begin to smell a little bit stronger here. Before you reach, and you get the sense that you're getting very close now to this compound, is there anything that you all want to do in preparation?
Reloading the gravity gun and getting weapons ready and all of the stuff that typically would be a part of combat.
Okay.
Spice is going to sheath her weapons. And
Oh, I guess I'd follow.
Yeah, I'd follow his way.
suit then, but still being ready.
No problem.
I'm not trying to start a fight here. We're trying to get supplies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can I ping out within my 20? It might be 25 now, but within my range of wireless hack to try and if there's any security systems that are electronic based, get a little bit of a head start on if they're about to engage.
Absolutely. And if your range is 25 feet, interestingly, you don't pick up any. There are no traps on this path. You can pick up this little wayfinder as it approaches its final destination. And as you walk along this cavern, you get to a point where it opens up, and there is an area where 4 natural sandstone pillars rise up to support almost like a natural sandstone bridge that goes over a larger cavern. And here in this shady place, it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. There is a large bus that kind of dominates the place. It isn't just the height of the bus. The height's been quite modified. It stands close to 13, 14 feet tall with elements of modular pieces of starships and elements of like a van slapped onto the side.
Nice.
There's an area where you can see it can be raised and lowered, but it's just like a big awning that can go out and probably support like maybe a sleeping area. Nice. But the whole thing is encased in a very Gibbs-like pigpen cloud of toxic smoke. There are sparks going everywhere. There is this gas that is just being vented out into the place, and it's dark and oily, and you can taste and feel it.
The Wish version
Spice,
of
like
Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah.
Yes, this is absolutely. This is the Craigslist Howl's Moving Castle.
Love
No
that.
sponsor, none of those things. are
I'm
sponsored.
filled with glee on the inside.
Bubs takes out like one of those like small little toy fans with a little spritzer bottle in it, and he's just trying to blow away the smoke.
No problem. And even as you bring it out and you spritz it, it's like. And it's like getting clogged already. That kind of goo and residue forming on the moisture. It seems to almost cling.
Is this like a defense mechanism that the van is exuding right now?
Interestingly, you kind of look at this van. This is not smart tech. This is an old van, and you can see in the front there's an old radiator grill. There is what was at one point probably like a windshield, although this has been replaced with a dark piece of some kind of ballistic-proof material. But this is a it's built for like war. This is not really meant for high-tech
Like a Mad
operations.
Max fucking like
Face-
rig.
Very
Spice
much
mentioned that he wears a gas mask so that way only him and his drones can live here.
Well, I was gonna say everybody put your environmental suits on. Okay, well
This
you're gonna
sounds
get
great.
poison damage.
You should
Suit yourself.
Okay.
put your environment.
So who is putting their environmental suits on? The androids don't need to breathe.
I don't need to breathe. We're good.
Yeah, Spice knows the deal.
I have
Spice.
a feat
Yes.
that makes me tougher,
Yeah.
and that I am better at fortitudes when it comes to harmful thick atmospheres, choking when breathing smoke, holding my breath. All of these things are what things I will do to survive here.
So go ahead and make a fortitude check, and this does fall under thick, choking, noxious smoke. It is something called carbon monoxide.
Gibbs has something to prove here.
I feel lightheaded, but
Okay.
good.
I'm gonna whiz like a
19 plus
carbon
6 is
monoxide.
25 to just survive in this environment with
So
something
Gibbs,
to prove.
you step in, you breathe this big gasp in through your soaking nose, and it smells like home, albeit just a little oilier, and also you like your eye twitches a little bit and you feel your heart race for a second. Probably not good to do that necessarily, but you feel okay for the moment.
I just uncork my bottle and let it breathe.
Yes, even your bottle, it like almost reacts in kind of a negative way.
Oh no, I cork
It's-
it back up. That's
it's
my
not good.
pride and joy.
Your bottle, biological, and as gross as it is living and it's an organism. Everything out here reeks of death, so not always the best. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Knock knock.
That was the phone
Sell
call I
juice.
was
Oh,
ignoring.
so nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ooh, we got pizza delivery.
If you also want to deliver us pizza,
Buy it.
Donate
Buy it.
some
Bits or
bits
some
or
shit.
whichever one you do the thing.
3,000 bits can send a pizza straight to
Thank you so
Mosaic
much,
Team
Ari.
5. Although if somebody donates
Thank
that
you,
to me, I
Emily.
guess we'll get
Thanks,
ice
Emily.
cream. Yeah, that's what we do. 'Cause this is pizza.
Yeah, we already got pizza. Don't get us pizza. Just get us ice cream instead.
Exactly.
there's plates over there.
So, as you discuss this in Gibbs, as you breathe in a vast amount of noxious fumes, you can see there is a door to this bus, and it seems to be again almost elevated, and so like you would probably have it open from the inside like a school bus. You'd walk up some steps, and then the interior, you'd walk into the expanded space. But at this moment, you see no sign, thank you, of a huge Vesk. You don't see any like little drones, nothing of that nature. You just see a cold black barbecue grill and a number of other components and things. And Shade, you recognize many elements of an engineering setup here. You can also see elements of perhaps some more exotic things.
Spice is going to call out and say, "Yoo-hoo, Seljun!"
Okay. From this, oh, thank you. That's my pizza hand.
Yeah.
The way that you handed that to me was so funny. You call out, Seljud, And from the bus, you can see there is an aperture that opens, and this long mechanical, almost proboscis, just protrudes into different parts.
What's a proboscis?
It's like
like
a
the
bug's
mosquito
thing.
nose.
However, this is prehensile. You can see multiple mechanical joints that move up and just unfolds. And then at the very end of the scorpion tail-like part, made of multiple little segments, like a camera, and it just kind of peers at you. There's a little mechanical box above it, and through the speaker, you hear this mechanical, well. The whole planet thought you were dead. Spicinato. And then the little aperture just back into place, and the door open. And stepping out of this giant bus, you can see a huge Vesk, although stepping out, kind of a strong word. He piles out. One-legged is this Vesk. You can see protruding from the other part. It's like 3 different pegs that form almost like a tripod as he stands. Up through the body, you can see little pumps and tubes that go out, and through him, kind of like holding onto the side. It looks at first almost like a bagpipe, but as he breathes, you can see this bladder almost vibrate within, and this fluid just get riled up every time that he kind of gasps and breathes. This big gas mask on, one gleaming cybernetic eye, one regular eye. And you can see, unlike the last time that you saw him, Spise, he has no arms. He has these mechanical sort of prosthetics.
Oh, you got some work done, didn't you?
You could say that.
You look good, Seljun. She like slapped him really hard on the back.
He has to like move out, and as he takes that first step, he just kind of goes, whoa, and the whole mechanical tripod just throws itself open and like stops him. It is a strong cybernetic of some kind, but he just catches himself, and the whole thing almost seems to grow bigger as it telescopes out.
Whoa.
But he stops himself and goes, whoa, I ain't as stable as I used to be.
Oh, clearly.
He turns and just kind of regards all of you with this one
so excited to meet you! My name is Gibbs!
Gibbs.
Yes!
Seljun de May.
I've heard so much about you.
I haven't heard anything about you.
And that's fine. I'm a nobody.
It's hard to find you, Seljun.
By design. Things aren't like you left them, Spise. You left people upset.
Why?
A lot of reasons.
A lot of reasons.
Why are you coming back here after so long?
I'm a bounty hunter now, believe it or not, and we're looking for Sitsu.
The governor.
Yeah, you know.
Interesting. Why are you here?
Seljun. We all know why I'm really here.
In Bub's mind, he like thinks of a reason.
Gibbs also thinks of a reason? Probably different.
For supplies.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
That's what we think about.
Mostly for supplies.
he turns over to you and just kind of like it's almost like this like spider peg leg that moves with him. And as he walks, he approaches and he looms over you. He's huge. Harlax was large, but with his prosthetics and this kind of almost like a trench coat that is over the mechanical portions, he is gigantic in terms of his mass. And as he gets right up to you, there's this like gout of smoke as he like exhausts and he stops. You've come to the right place. Here, and he pulls out this data pad, and it has a little menu on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
But
that.
is this typical for Seljun, or is this a new thing?
Seems to be a new thing. A couple improvements. in
Wow,
terms of the, flow.
Seljun. Look at you leveling up in this planet.
Things have been a little difficult to get out here. Drone parts and such. Easier this way for all of us.
Can I look at this guy?
Yeah.
Are his prosthetics, like he's installing them? What do I think about the nature of them?
Make a medicine check.
Thank you.
Yeah. I would say that's something that you could look at through the eye
18
of
plus
medicine. Nice.
14
Dang.
is 33?
he kind of, as he's like looking at Shade, who's just kind of going through this data pad, he turns and he sees you just like staring at him, and he goes, "Made him myself. Like him?"
Yeah, I
And
do.
He turns and he just takes his arm off, and he just swings it over, and like there's this fluid that on your fur, but he just hands it over to you.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Take a look.
I love it. I
Want to buy one?"
No. I still got all my arms, thank goodness.
He takes it and goes, "Well, if you ever want to change that, I can do it for you."
I have a
Just kinda puts it
question.
back on.
Spice is going to pull out her things that she bought at the equivalent of Claire's,
Yeah.
and go, I need these installed.
I can install them. And he kind of holds up these, like, one of them is almost like a mechanical, like, lobster arm. Now, the other one is just a big, burly vest can missing one of the fingers.
Spice, like, sees that he's about to grab him and go, ah! What's your price?
Well, it depends. What are you all looking for? What can I get for you?
Oh, I'm Bubs, by the way. I'm Spice's. And then he's gonna stop and think.
Spice
No,
eagerly
don't say
awaits his response.
Spice's
Spice is what?
friend, associate.
Worker.
Teamworker.
Teamworker? Teamworker? What's a teamworker?
Well, we occupied the same place of work.
And they sleep together.
Gibbs, why would you say that?
He's
Why
been
would
nothing
you
but
say
nice
it?
to us.
Team worker.
We're
I'm more than a
arrangement. We're
teamworker.
arrangement, not gonna lie, but that's why I work alone.
Hey, Seljin, can you tell me a little bit about this sonic suppressor, please?
What about it?
What does the whisper function do?
Which sonic suppressor are you talking
Oh,
about?
are you expecting me to look these up, actually?
Oh, you're talking about, in the inventory.
Yes.
Sorry.
He's
Give
got
me
a
one
small
second
arm
here.
called Sonic Suppressor, and then he's also got one called Cunnilingus.
Excuse me?
What?
No, it says Caliginius.
There goes our rating on the stream.
We already had a bad rating. I
Yeah.
said fuck all the time.
So yeah, I mean, these are all
said it right now.
Starfinder
Alright,
things.
sorry.
They do have the numbers next to them. When you use names like Cunnilingus, it's hard for me to know exactly how to describe them for you. I can describe that, but I don't think that's appropriate. So go look that up.
Okay, well, sorry.
But for
6:30 p.m.
the
stream on a Thursday.
first one, he can tell you it's a weapon that's used to suppress people, less violent than most.
I kind of like that. That's in my purview.
I like this whisper.
That's the one I'm looking up.
Oh.
Literally the one I asked.
No, the one above it.
Yeah, no, sorry. So I asked about the whisper, the,
And you
the
asked
sonic
about
suppressor,
this-
and I asked about the.
Oh, well, we all do small arms. So.
Yes.
Character.
Yeah.
Does he buy equipment?
Yeah, that's a question you would ask in character.
Mr. Seljun, do you buy any like equipments or augmentations?
Not a lot of reason for credits here, but I could trade.
Tell me about. Well, I guess Spice would know about the trading, or maybe she doesn't. How do I want to phrase this? I know that you trade favors. Is there a favor that you need done, Seljun?
Spise, you came at a perfect time.
Oh, yes, I knew you would say that.
Everybody already thinks you're dead, so if you wind up dead, nobody will shed a tear.
Fuck you, Seljun.
I want my arms back. And he kind of holds up the two prosthetics, and the one that he just reattached for Spice kind of like wobbles a little bit in place. These aren't the ones that I got custom made, and they're not doing it for me.
Huh?
I want them back.
Okay. Who took them from you?
Not who. What?
A worm? Were they eaten?
He turns over to you, Gibbs. Very perceptive.
Yeah, I would eat them too.
Gibbs, you said your name was?
Yes.
My arms were not my first arms, not my natural arms. These high-end prosthetics. Military grade. These, and he kind of holds these like rattling bolts that are like barely put together. Nothing. I want my arms. And Rattleplate got him.
Rattleplate.
Okay.
What is that?
Some sort
Spise,
of
you notice there ain't no worms in these caverns?
Oh, I noticed for sure. I was so ready to fight him when I came to see you, but we came here unscathed.
There's
obviously.
only one left,
Oh, yeah?
and it eats all the others.
Sounds like a big baddie to me.
the Alaskan bullworm.
A shrieker worm, actually, but bigger than most. And because it eats mostly other worms, it doesn't need to leave its lair, not often. So you gotta go to it. But if you can kill this, I can get you set up with pretty much whatever you want.
I'd love to hear that.
You're after the governor?
I'm after the governor.
You need a way in. Perdido ain't like it used to be. There are snipers on the roofs. There are checkpoints at most streets.
What?
Things are different, Spise. People are different.
Spice, obviously, her whole demeanor crumples a little bit, but then she picks herself back up. That's fine. Time goes on. We all change. All right, let's go find this worm.
Wait, hold on. I love this. These two guns.
Wait, Seldun, if we kill this worm, you're gonna give us whatever we fucking want, right?
I didn't
And
say that.
Yeah.
okay,
So, I have a particular set of skills that might be useful before we head out. Are you in any pain?
You look at him, he's like missing 3 out of 4 of his organic limbs. From where his mechanical eye is, there's this kind of like amber colored stuff that just runs free, and every now and then when he breathes in from this gas mask, he just like rubs it away. But surprisingly, he just goes, "No, but I want my arms back."
Do you know where the lair is for this creature?
Yes, I do, and I can give you a wayfinder to bring you there.
should we know anything about this worm before we're going in?
It's big. Bigger than any of the ones I've ever seen.
So big that maybe a starship would be better to fight it?
Anything would be better to fight it, but this thing, it stays at its lair. If you can get it out, maybe that'll work, but...
Bait. All right.
Okay, but this shadow pistol, Caliginius?
Colliginous.
I don't know this word. What's that word mean?
Colliginous?
Yeah,
I
what does
have
it
no
mean?
idea.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a name or like a word.
I think
kind
it's
of
just
fish.
one of the
Um,
brands.
and this fire extinguisher.
You pull out the fire extinguisher?
No, I want his fire
Oh, you
extinguisher.
want his fire
I want him to sell me. I used my fire extinguisher on something stupid.
They have 20 uses.
Oh, I've been throwing them away like a one-use item.
No.
That's why I keep buying them.
Amazing. Gibbs is like taking shoes, tying them once, ripping them off, throwing them over.
No, that's not how fire extinguishers work.
Well, I
Sounds dark.
threw away the last one, so I guess I should buy another one with the new rules that I've now learned about. And I'll pull out the silence pistol from Peep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's at least 5 others of them. And by 5, I mean 4.
Sentimental value.
And that shadow pistol's level 6, correct?
It's level 4.
4.
4. He takes a look at
Help
this
me
pistol.
buy this.
His hand reaches out, and you can see these like this almost like pincer-like grip reach out, and he just ching ching, give it here.
Gibbs,
Ching, and
that
just
is
takes
not
it
for
and takes a
sale.
look. He like holds it up, and then the whole hand just spins in place as he just watches and looks, and he just goes, "Interesting. You want to make a trade?"
That is not tradable, Gibbs.
Yeah, Spise is gonna go, I don't know, Gibbs, that's not a good deal. It's not a 1-for-1. Seldun,
That holds
I don't
sentimental
know.
value to Pete.
Mr. Seljun, I have this advanced needle rifle, tactical rating. Would you be interested in trading for the Red Star Blade Sinister?
No.
we'll try.
What am I gonna do with a doctor's gun? Nothing.
Okay.
I say invest, because he's Vesk, right? I say invest because I now speak it. My friends don't want me to sell you that pistol. What's the lowest you could go on the Caliganigenous item?
He's gonna turn to you and he's gonna say, if you can take care of this and get my arms back, I'll throw that in for free. Just for you.
Deal!
Ask.
And I take back the pistol rifle and I throw it in my bucket with all my other bullshit. And I'm like, all right, we're good. We made a deal.
Okay.
Cool. Wurm, Wayfinder, please.
He reaches into his pack and he pulls out this little dented, similar to the ones that you've already seen.
Yeah.
And he twists the little light on top and presses it, and it just begins to this little light, and he throws it up in the air, and it just kind of begins to drift. And it gets about 10 feet away and seems to wait.
All right, bye, Mr. Seljun.
Goodbye. And he notably does not shake your hand. Yeah.
I would like to purchase your cryo grenade.
1 cryo grenade. What do you got to trade?
Cred stick?
You understand, not a lot of use for creds out here, and I have to inflate the price a little bit if you're just
cost not? Is the cost not 12,020 creds?
It's going to be a little bit higher. Not by much, but a little bit higher if you want to buy it.
Shade doesn't really care.
Yeah, sure. So add 100 creds to that, no problem.
Oh, do you have ammo while we're here before we go?
Gibbs, we don't need
Sure,
ammo.
I need a needler, and I click the needler thing that I keep saying I don't have ammo for.
Like I said, these weapons don't really hold any use to me.
Okay.
And for most of my kind, we don't get hurt by them.
Oh, interesting. I tuck that piece of biological knowledge into my head. All right, goodbye. Thank you, though. You're lovely. Love your home. So beautiful here.
Is there a level 4 small arms on that list?
That's the one I'm.
Yeah,
Oh, that you
that
are.
are.
I keep
But
it-
isn't there 2?
No, there's
Yeah,
an
one's
8. There's no way I can
Oh.
afford that or make a deal for it.
Does he have multiple? Just this is what he's got.
That's what he's got. Yeah, that's the inventory.
So he has
And just
potentially
so
more than
that,
one
that you
cryo.
guys are aware, you've made a deal for this pistol.
Yes.
And I just bought a cryo grenade.
And you just bought a cryo grenade. But at the end of this, so far, all you're getting is a pistol.
Yeah.
Wait,
Unless
we're
there's
getting.
anything
Oh,
else.
Are we also getting
information about.
information?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
What if I threw in a dermoplating upgrade for your skin?
My skin, and he kind of points to all the scales and kind of gooey bits. I don't think I need it.
Oh, you can always add more to it.
If you actually add a character, if you look up dermoplating, it stacks.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily
Okay,
need
fair
it,
enough,
nor
yeah.
can he. I don't think he has space for it at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
But thank you, anyways.
I'll trade you this D suit for that Lashunta armor.
No.
Damn. All right. Well, when I come back from this, I want that. I want the Lashunta armor. If I kill this worm, you're gonna give me that Lashunta armor.
Maybe
Make a
the worm.
diplomacy check. Take a +6 conditional modifier.
Hell yeah.
Maybe the worm ate more than just his arms.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
So maybe if we sift through its poop,
You
we'll
aren't
find
the
a lot
first
of cool
group
stuff.
I've sent in this direction. In the interest of fairness, some of this stuff comes from them.
Nice. What are you gonna sell that's mine? What's my most valuable thing?
How large is this creature?
Your winning smile.
Oh, thank you.
Say again.
How large is this creature?
Seljun.
No.
Oh,
The rattle
I'm
plate.
asking Seljun.
estimates vary, but I'd guess 100 feet long, maybe a little more. It's hard to tell because it never fully emerges.
Hey,
Guys, have you seen The Mandalorian?
no.
Oh. There's like a crate dragon, I think, and it like they have to like get it out of its lair or something, and this is very much reminiscent of that.
Feels a lot like that.
It's
yeah.
on a desert planet. It's like the sandworms and the Mandalorian guy are like they're the sand people. John would know. Never mind.
Look away if
I
you
mean,
haven't seen The Mandalorian.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I believe you.
Yes.
So, if you wish, You can follow this wayfinder beacon, which is now kind of like drifting a little bit off and into the cavern in the opposite way that you guys, not in the opposite way, sorry, further along the cavern, past Seljune's compound.
All right, let's go kill that worm, team.
I want to, as we step out of the toxic field,
Yeah.
I want my fur as part of my like ability to just get dirty. I want it to keep as much of the yucky gunkiness. So if I were to be eaten by a worm, I would be poisonous. That is my thought and plan there.
Okay, sure. I mean, you emerge dirtier than you came in, certainly. Whether that will affect a worm, hard to say.
Okay.
We'll
I
find
feel
out.
protected. I feel protected.
It's all about feelings.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell you how to feel.
Do we want to go back to the ship, pick up the stargazer?
The Stargazer has no weaponry.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay, never mind.
It would take some time to add
Melee it is. Let's go.
weapons.
Melee. So, you make your way into the cavern. Same marching order as before, you're leading?
Spice was leading.
Oh, Spice is
I
leading.
was behind
The
Spice.
footsteps that I was following, do they go right to Seljune's and then stop, or like?
No, so they don't quite make it to Seljune's. They go off into one of the other tunnels,
We died.
a little way back.
Oh, okay.
Spice is going to, as she's leading every, maybe like, I don't know, 20 feet or so, she's gonna kneel down and feel the sand and feel the tremors and see if she can remember anything else about the worms, because she's seen them before, right?
Did he
Yeah.
give us the
She's-
coordinates to the den?
You gave us a
No,
wayfinder.
but the
Or he-
Wayfinder,
right,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
were to wirelessly connect to the Wayfinder, same thing as before,
It's got another.
it does, and so you can see it's probably at most like a 20-minute walk, assuming that there aren't any cave-ins or anything like that. It's not that far away.
Back towards our ship? Are we going to pass by the
You're
ship?
going in
anyway?
a sort of off to the side shoot into one of these parallel crevasses.
Okay.
So, no problem. You make your way. And Spice, as you go, you do feel out and wait, kind of sensing for tremors. Make a perception check.
Perhaps it would be beneficial to try and lure out the worm so that
Yes,
we
I
can attack
agree.
it with our ship.
Let's see. 25.
Okay, not bad. And it's good
We're
because
doing
it
all
is-
my highest stats here.
it is getting darker. Maybe about 5 o'clock now. And so as the sun begins to set, pretty abruptly it does begin to get darker because the cavern here, the kind of walls rise up and up and up. And so the sun very quickly loses its power. And so it's dim. And as you walk, there are times where you almost swear that you can feel these trembles, but nothing as strong as you remember. And in that way, it's almost quieter than you would expect. But you make your way. And as Shade kind of reports on your progress, there is a point where you see looming up at this dead end of this cavern, huge cave, maybe 30 feet across. But it vanishes deep and deep and deep down into the sand, almost like a abrupt drop. And that drop is wide. It's like a gaping hole in the desert.
I'm gonna take out my canteen. I imagine it's one of those like big canteens, like those oval ones.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm gonna take off the top, and I'm just gonna, as I'm walking, I'm gonna see if there's any like tremors in the water, because I know that's a thing that like you can pick up more sensitivity.
Make
Yes,
a
we've all
sense
seen
motive
Jurassic
check.
Bubs is a fan of classic movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those old Earth
That's
movies,
right.
man, left an imprint on him.
That is a dirty 20.
Goldblum.
With a dirty 20, you take out the water, and with that sense motive, as you walk and you see these vibrations, and you're like, oh my god, you realize it's from the footsteps that you were taking holding the glass of water. This is probably not super effective in that way. That being said, you do begin to like really feel for these tremors.
Yeah.
And you don't really feel too many. However, you do get to this cave. And this is where the Wayfinder stops, indicating almost in like an area where it widens out the end of this canyon. There are a number of rocky outcrops. There are some kind of like almost stone platforms that rise up to the mouth of this cavern. And right about here, as you begin to look around for other ways to progress, in the sand, all of you, even those of you who do not feel for it, feel this deep rumble. as something. It feels like a capital starship takes off in the distance almost. It is a persistent rumble. And all around you can see off the sides, little bits of sand fall down.
Are we
then
still in
it's still.
sandstone?
Yes.
Okay, good.
If I Google rattle plate Akaton, do I get like pictures or like results from that? If
I
I
feel like
like,
it's like looking up the Loch Ness monster.
yeah,
the
but like,
cultures.
yeah, but like, so
Right. No, but that's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
like urban legendy.
right, but it's
seems.
urban legend with a name and it's affecting the ecosystem. That's cocked. 12 plus. I think my culture's okay. 10, so that's 22.
Okay. With a 22, all kinds of things come up. Rattle plate, though, I would say with a 22, here and there, you see like old, dead, what are the equivalent of like Geocities web pages at this
Okay.
time? And they're like cryptozoology, and you click on them and they're like dead links, like people who, are no longer keeping up with that hobby, we could call it. However, you do find a very small snippet about rattle plate. A gigantic, what is called shrieker worm.
Shrieker.
And it's called rattle plate because around its mouth, the sort of teeth on the interior have grown so large that this creature, when it hisses, they rattle together and create these almost painful sonic bursts around it.
Can I think about biological defense against screeching? And like, so Gibbs goes like, oh, okay, like shove our ears full of cotton. Do I think that would be effective?
Make a sense motive check. Take a +4 conditional modifier for your previous roll.
Thank you. Sense motive. 14 plus 11 is 25.
Okay, yeah, but 25, you think about that and you would imagine, well, hang on. This is a creature that's like 100 feet long,
Yeah.
supposedly. You probably want to strike it in places further away from the huge mouth that is probably creating those sounds.
So I think aim for the butthole, and I convey that, and I show my Google search, and I'm like,
Ah, yes, the anus, never the mouth. That's what they say.
and plus, if we're close to the anus and it does just poop out his arms, we don't even have to kill it. We can just sift through poop.
So
It's a win-win.
I'm thinking we're gonna need 2 teams here. Then we're gonna need the bait, and then we're gonna need the attackers.
Oh.
Perhaps we can also just open up a chink in the plates, as worms often have segmented bodies. There is no need to go through the proverbial poop chute.
Ha! You
That's-
said poop shoot.
She said proverbial.
Just said it.
This is a different sort of beast entirely. You know?
This
from,
is
like,
no T-Rex.
Yeah, like this is.
Bubby's is just gonna do a quick search of just the senses that worms can feel.
Okay. Make a culture
Can I take
check.
20?
Huh?
Can I take 20 doing it?
Sure, yeah, if you want to
Oh,
sit down and take 20.
20's a lot. We're here.
Fine. I'll do it.
Yeah.
What am I doing? A culture check?
This is a culture check, yeah.
Worm culture, despair,
This is more,
embarrassment.
culture check is more like your use of the infosphere, less like you're like, oh, what is the culture of sandworms?
That's a 17.
Okay, well, sandworms, with a 17,
Typically, worms can sense light.
so
I
you
wonder
would
if I can
get,
find that.
so you would get the sense that, seeing as how you have not seen one, and this thing lives in a cave, it probably doesn't need to see in that sense of the word. It probably has other ways of sensing. And here in sand, something that would carry vibration very much through it, probably tremor sense, something of that nature.
I'll relay this to the
Tremor
group.
sense.
How far away are we from the ship?
You bring up your comms and kind of figuring it out. Like, in terms of like time to walk back there, probably about 45 minutes.
So do we want to do this now, or do we want to like go home, sleep, and come back and do it in the morning?
Why would we go sleep?
I don't know. I'm kind of
It is
hungry.
getting dark.
Oh, I see your point.
But like, we're going into a dark cave, so it being dark outside when we exit the cave doesn't actually matter much to me.
Is it said that worms have advantage in the dark?
No, they don't need to see. So like,
Oh, yeah, okay.
it's no
It's
advantage or
still-
disadvantage to us. It's just, I mean,
It's a
I'm
disadvantage to us if we can't see.
Right, but we're not gonna be able to see. My point is.
I know. Yes,
okay.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, it's like we're going to a cave. Doesn't matter if it's light or not. Oh well, I can, and I spit on my I have a can, just like a Coke can,
I would believe that.
and I
Not a
can I can token spell it to shed dim light for 20 feet.
So when you were on the Pepco station, you did find a number of space colas.
Yes.
So you take one of your empty space cola cans, and you spit in it, infusing it with the bioluminescent kind of bacteria in the back of your throat that you save for just such an
Huck the
emergency.
loogie into it.
Seeing
It's a minor version of my Wisp ally.
Yeah.
It's a much smaller loogie.
seeing Gibbs spit on something, I don't want to touch the can, so I'm just gonna turn on my normal flashlight on my suit.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I have exceptional vision.
There you go. You do. So all of you, in various ways, kind of prepare for the darker habitat.
I'm not going ahead though. I was gonna say
Yeah, we're gonna do 2 groups here, or what?
Well, okay.
I still believe that using our ship to lure it out would be the most probable option for success.
Okay,
This creature
we
is
could try that.
100 feet long.
I like that idea.
All right, so it looks like we're running out of time.
Feel deep within the earth, there is a huge rumble.
Well, if we take this beacon and go back to the ship, then we can do it A in the daylight and then B with the ship.
That is what I was going to suggest.
You think if we
Alright.
just like shoot into the ground, it'll like be like yum 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 and come out?
For what it's worth, there is also very little. There's a thin seam of this kind of purple sky as it is now getting darker. Your shuttle would not fit through it. You would need to probably create an opening for it to get through.
Oh,
I was thinking because we've opened up into a cave that's off in the distance, right? Or
have we
a
left?
large hole that's off in the distance, right?
Would you like a little visual perspective?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Oh, why? Yes.
I'm thinking I input the coordinates of this waypoint where we are now, and then go back to the ship, and then fly it out of the cave, and go like to the open area that we are. I think right outside of, or like right. It's right in front of us.
So this might help you.
A worm is not a humanoid creature.
No, it's
No.
Can you imagine?
it's got arms. And
Yeah,
stuff.
like arms and legs.
There is a
It's just kind of
D&D
worm-like.
character called the Worm That Walks,
Oh yes, the one that walks is dope.
which is a humanoid.
Yes.
this corner.
You guys got that? Yep.
The worm that walks. I want to look.
It's a worm. And
Guys,
it walks.
wait. I'm thinking really hard about that gun he had.
Where's us?
So you guys are entering from the southern part, and you can see in front of you there is this cave. Above you, you're almost kind of in a cave. It's a canyon only in the sense that there is a thin seam, maybe like 1.5 feet across, that opens up and into the desert above. From above, this would be almost a virtually impossible to see kind of crack in the desert that you would imagine people probably would fall into and probably have. A part of this canyon shifting and opening and closing is that does allow for people to kind of be trapped in these weaker parts.
So there's no. Okay, so we would have to shoot through the rock.
Skylight.
No, it's not all
No.
sky. It's a crack of sky.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Straight
We have
down
to
the
shoot
center.
into that skylight area to get into here with the ship.
I'm gonna say in character.
Aren't we supposed to keep a low profile on Perdido, though? I mean,
Yeah,
We're in the middle of the wastelands.
but like,
Yeah, no, nobody here.
but one person with a camera cell phone. That's kind of a big deal.
This
Does
is
it
the,
matter? I mean,
This is
we're
the
bound to-
situation where you decide to actually utilize discretion.
Well, I'm just if we're gonna do it, we should acknowledge it. It's fine.
I think there's some advantage to people thinking I'm dead, but also there's a part of me that wants the village to know I'm alive.
Well, not until we capture the bounty. Otherwise, we're gonna die here.
That's true. Let's stay focused, as they say.
I did paint the ship's icon with brown paint, so we're like,
You threw a bucket of brown paint
Bub-
across the logo.
yes.
Bubs is gonna make a mental note of Spise saying she does want people to think she's alive, and he's thinking about does she miss her old life?
Would I be able to fly the ship at such a level that it doesn't pick up on any radars to get to this spot to use it to fight this worm?
I would say make an engineering check. That's a hard question to answer. You don't know the capabilities of the people here. So this is more a check to think about, what are the chances, just thinking about what you do know, which is a pretty limited amount.
And we have to remember the ship is safe where it is right now.
30.
Nice.
30. With a 30, you would be flying over open desert, and though you cannot visually see through the sandstorm that rages above, you would imagine military-grade sensors absolutely could. Perdido is the military kind of base of operations, and it's only about a 3-hour probably drive to get there. So certainly that would pick up on radar.
Is it like a gun sensor too? Like if you fire like a starship weapon, does it pick up on like a sound sensor?
You have no idea.
Yeah.
But what I would say is on Prime Station, there was a technology that was called, I think, Blast Tech, and when that went off, it would alert Steel and Steel's department that there was gunshots, and it would tell them where it was so that they could respond.
I think I would relay that information to the group at least.
Okay.
And the other thing is if the ship's safe where it is now, and we fail at getting the worm out, we'd have to go back, park the ship, and walk 45 minutes back.
Fuck it, we're here. Let's just fight this fucking worm and go back to Seljun and call it a day.
For once, I am in agreement with Spise. If we were to go and retrieve the director, we would have to fly the director through these caverns and evade detection from military-grade satellites.
Did you say that because you want to protect the director, Echo?
Sense motive.
On who?
On that whole thing.
I think you have a crush on the director.
20.
20?
You were saying some cute things last session. I saw the way you looked
They don't
into
want to see the director get
eyes
damaged.
of cameras.
Futurama episode.
Yeah.
It's okay, Echo. I don't want to see the director damaged either, because it's our way off this planet.
So how are we gonna do this? Who's gonna be the bait?
And you're
I
just
don't
gonna
mind
look
being the
around.
bait. Fuck it.
Wait, no, I'm pretty
Again, you
tasty.
can feel this rumble, and it feels slightly closer.
Why do we not use the fastest member
I
of
was
the
just-
group
yeah.
to be the bait?
I was going to
Amen.
suggest
All right.
that or the one with
Wait, I should be
the
with
jetpack.
you, because if you are eaten, I can keep you up.
So you two and then us three will attack the bottom half where it's weaker, and you guys just have to stay alive.
Yeah.
I am not particularly strong, Gibbs. I do not feel confident in pulling you along the sand.
I got
It'd be
this.
better if we
I don't
take
know.
up
I feel like that's a
positions
good point.
on solid rock.
Yeah, I agree with Echo. I think Echo can do this. She's pretty fast.
Okay.
I think what you should do is you should hide within range of your healing if you can, and you do the rabbit zigzag thing back and forth.
Oh yeah, that'd be so cool. And you could maybe do a loop-de-loop or something.
I feel like you're pretty close to running on air. Yeah. You can parkour off of all these mesas.
Parkour.
Is this acceptable?
yes, and I
Whose
will.
permission are you asking?
I am asking for group consensus.
I give you a meat puck, and I will cast on this meat puck. Can I cast token spell as a smell? Can I give it a scent of what I think worms smell like?
What?
Are your scent
Roll a
receptors
D20.
on?
Sure.
Yes.
19!
Wow.
All of a sudden, this rich smell. It's like if you had bacon that had gone bad and then had layered it with dirt and kind of this almost unhealthy still rainwater smell that's just kind of been sitting there for a while, a little fetid.
Oh, so Denny's Grand Slam breakfast.
Yeah, it's not a great smell. And Spice, in your mind, you're like, oh, it smells like a dead worm.
It's like,
I
that's
don't-
the point. And I put it in Echo's pocket, and
Spices?
I give Echo a kiss on the cheek.
We should
I will have to wash these pockets later.
Here, have some ketchup while you're at it.
get in position
Okay.
as best as we can.
Please alert when you are ready.
All right,
Gibbs and
Bubbles.
Spice, I would recommend staying closer to this edge.
I'm going to, understanding that what not Dan said, Bub said about its tremor sense, I want to kind of fleet foot using as much of the rocky space to parkour my way to my spot.
Okay. Make a stealth check with a +2 conditional modifier for using the stone, but a -2 conditional modifier for parkouring.
I'm just gonna try to jump jet my way up to here
I parkour stealthily.
as quietly as possible.
Okay, one sec. We're gonna go one by one here.
As Shade just gives
matters.
those agreements, he's just gonna kind of like nod at Shade and kind of think like, wow, Shade really knows what he's doing.
I think none of that.
He's a good leader.
So you wanted acrobatics, athletics, or stealth?
Yes, because
This
this
is
was his
stealth.
idea.
13.
Okay, place yourself where you're going.
No, not the parkour.
No, Shade,
Okay.
The whole
still.
thing.
So in Gibbs's mind, it's like a bunch of flips, and Gibbs is like leaping from rock to rock. But for all of you, you watch as Gibbs like kind of struggles to get from stone edifice to stone edifice. And when Gibbs gets, I would say move one more down. You don't quite. You like leap to that one, and you land with just your legs, and it just hits you right in the chest. And you're winded. You kind of like push off and just manage to land on the ones down.
No one saw that.
Yeah, but everybody saw it. It's not.
Spice just goes, oh.
Yeah.
Bub is gonna like kind of hover a little bit and like offer his hand to Spice.
She'll take it.
Okay. So who's going next to get into position?
I would have probably started jumping across. If Gibbs started making moves, I would have
Make a stealth check.
tried to, jump jet my way across.
I'm imagining as the worm, it's going to come up out of this hole. So Echo needs to be at the place where when it comes up, it sees Echo. So Echo, you should go, and then we'll be at the edge of
Go
the
ahead and
hole.
place yourself
so
where you want to be.
As it comes out, we'll attack its body as it's coming out.
So Gibbs, as you like hit your chest right into this and you're barely holding on, you watch as Shade, you're like, oh, nobody saw it, and Shade just flies by you. Shade, you look down, you see Gibbs like falling off and then like landing on their back, just right into the lower room.
I whispered quietly, Heelys don't work on sand.
And you just land on top of the archway.
I'm going to pick up Spice as we're flying, and
Okay.
I think we're just going to. Can I get a Chesic floater?
Oh yeah.
Not that, yeah. Thank you, please.
Thank you.
You wanna have one
Chessex
just-
brand floater.
Thank you, please.
Not a sponsor.
Not yet. We would need dice though, so.
Not a real.
Do we really?
Shut up.
Always.
Always, yeah.
Don't ask us how many sets we each have.
Spice and Gibbs. Sorry, Spice and Bubs. Go ahead and make stealth checks. You're using your jetpack to fly across?
Yes.
Okay. Take a -6 conditional modifier. It is a jetpack.
Why? Why don't
All
we
right,
just stand
everyone
at
get
the
ready to
edge
roll
of the
for
hole,
initiative.
you dumbass?
Get ready, because that's.
Dan rolled a nat 1.
Not
Four.
quite, but not.
Well, do I even
So
need
it's
to
a
roll
-2.
then?
Yeah, for sure.
So what is it even for? Well, I rolled 3, so.
Okay.
So,
They just start making out, all you can hear is their lip sounds.
Ew.
yeah.
Oh, that was
I hate
visceral.
that.
That's part of the ASMR.
Yeah.
No.
We're on that theme tonight, guys.
I feel like that's every night.
It's every night in my bedroom.
I had suggested very early on having a
It's more
second
my
stream
bedroom.
that was Gunter ASMR channel on Wednesday nights.
Bubs and Spice, you watch as your team quietly makes their way over, some more than others. But in this moment, Bubs, you decide that you need to catch up. And you use your jetpack to bring you and Spice stealthily across the sand. For all of you watching, you can see as Bubs across the area, the sand below him just displaced in this huge kind of wash. And at that moment, I would say you feel this large shift in the sand.
All right, Echo, quick run.
And I would say, go ahead and roll for initiative.
No, you
As
stupid.
this worm erupts from the sand almost directly below you.
Fucking killing it. It's not good for a
Are
healer
you
though to go.
just
Where's this
flying
dice trash
above the
can?
ground, displacing sand?
Yes.
Is that
no, I'm
currently
pretty-
what's happening?
Well,
I
it's because
didn't
he
say
failed
it.
a stealth check.
Right, but it's like the
Explain
jetpack is displacing the sand as you float.
Probably not, because I'm pretty high
Oh
up.
my God! Look at these ugly guys.
Oh, this is one guy.
Oh, one guy.
Yeah, because
It's going whoom,
Yeah.
whoom.
Yeah, through the sand.
Oh, this is fantastic.
I love this.
Yucky.
And so the rules for this guy are all of the parts have to touch. However, he can go underneath the sand and reemerge within a certain radius, you would imagine. But
When
yeah,
he
it's
disappears
pretty
in the sand,
This
does that
is
trigger attacks of
actually
opportunity?
perfect
I don't know.
for what I was hoping to do.
Nice.
cool. So.
Me too.
Great
'Cause the
position.
butthole is right there.
All right, looks like we're the bait now, idiot.
Idiot.
I told you to stay on solid rock.
Ugh.
You just hear this on your comms as this thing, like out through the sand. People just yelling at you, idiot, as you're like about to be eaten alive.
This is
All
doing
right.
wonders for Bub's self-confidence,
Yeah,
guys.
really.
Good job dying, you moron.
Bubs realized that his attention is on something else at the moment.
Would seem like.
And has been.
What is it, Spise?
It's Julian.
Alrighty. Anybody natural 20?
Not quite.
Ooh, 25 to 20?
20.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
24.
Okay. So, Shade, then Echo,
Great. Then the monster, and then the people it's attacking.
then Gibbs. Okay. 13? Spice?
8. I rolled a 2.
Okay, so the way that this shakes out, Spice, you are going to be last, unfortunately.
Yeah, somehow I knew that.
Shade, you are starting us off, followed by Echo, followed by Gibbs, followed by Bubs, then the creature, and then Spice. However, as this creature is triggering this combat, it is going to go first for this, and then we'll drop into initiative.
Great. So I guess
So.
I just get down before I even get a turn.
Just get eaten.
This creature
Maybe it doesn't
explodes outwards, and as it does, you see the mouth yawn open, and within there's like row upon row of teeth, and the teeth rattle in their sockets. And as they do, they let out this awful shriek. Spice, Bubs, and Shade. Can the three of you make fortitude saving throws, please?
Is this a mind affecting thing?
It is not.
Darn it.
Not a reflex.
You have the ring,
Fortitude.
by the
I
way.
do have the ring.
Did you
and I'm-
update your stats?
Oh, is
Yes,
this
that
the
is.
sonic boom?
It's
Am I
it's
behind it?
shrieking.
Oh,
teeth.
I'm just in the range.
18.
18. Okay.
21.
21.
Come on, bitch, be good. Oh, nice.
Ooh,
20. What is
20-something.
27.
For all of you, as this thing gets up and you can see almost slow motion, the teeth begin to rattle. You remember it's like Gibbs's voice in your mind, like stuff your ears, and you're able to cover your ears just in time to avoid the almost like eardrum splitting sound. And even through your hands or whatever you're using to close your ears, you can hear it, and it rattles your teeth. But you are relatively safe from that. However, it is going to reach out and strike at you, Bubs.
Yeah.
You are causing this.
Nice.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
Does a 31 hit?
KAC or EAC?
KAC.
Yes.
Okay. Bubs, you are going to take 25 points
Oh, low.
of piercing
shit.
damage.
These are
As
big
it-
bites.
I have my
Resistance,
resistance,
right?
so
So-
it's only 20.
Okay, so 5 of it away as it reaches out and slams onto you. You can feel these there's 4 almost lips that move away from the interior mouth. Each lip, this like triangular flap of skin, and they all are prehensile. They grip around your arms and try to pull you into this huge mouth. But you're able to like rip away. It still pierces you in your calf, in your foot, and it begins to almost like suck away the essence. But you're relatively okay for now. That is the end of its little reaction turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Shade.
Cool. Move action. I'm gonna put my combat tracking on the worm. And then I am going to use the cryo grenade that I just got.
Okay. Can you put that on the worm just for combat tracking?
And yeah, I'm gonna fucking hit this guy with the grenade.
There you go. Hit him with the grenade. So for the grenade, just so you know, you
20 foot
target.
range. Yeah, I target a 5-foot square, and it
Yes.
has the range.
No. You target across.
Right.
the
Yeah.
grenade.
Yeah. No, yeah.
You got it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm targeting the 20-foot range that's gonna hit this front section and like not them.
I got you. I see what you're talking about.
Kind of like drop it underneath it right here ish.
Okay.
And I have proficiency as a mechanic. That's going to be a 23. Sorry, 24.
24. Okay, give me 1 second. I don't have the grenade table memorized off the top of my head. It's cryo?
Yes.
Okay. So with the 23, I don't think you have to scatter it. Give me a second here. I don't have my dumb grenade throwing rules, and I used to have it memorized for the laser tag arena. But I don't remember
that was
it
such a
now.
fun episode.
I'll put a please print out of the grenades thing
Yeah, I used to have it, and I don't know where it went.
for next time because I'm hoping to use more grenades.
And now my
They're
internet
useful.
is grinding to a stop. So won't worry about it too much with the 23. Not a problem. Even if it does drift and scatter, it's not going to hit Bubs and it's not going to hit Spise.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll damage for that.
Cool. And it's also staggered for 1 round.
Okay.
Ooh, staggered.
That was
Staggered helps you guys.
Yes.
Not as much as flat-footed, but it is.
And that's gonna be four. I think it's 4 cold damage.
For what kind of damage?
Cold.
4 cold
Cryo
damage.
makes sense to me.
Yeah. So it's 4 cold damage, and it is staggered for 1 round.
No problem. So you toss this grenade out, and as it like wafts through the sand in the air, it ticks down, and you see this blue, almost like digital readout quickly count down before the whole thing just explodes. And for you, Spice and Bubs, there is this burst of freezing cold air. Any moisture at the tips of your lips or at the tops of your eyebrows just freezes in this flash. And you can hear this worm and just kind of like twist and squirm. And in that moment, as it rattles out, Bubs and Spice, can you make a fortitude saving throw, please?
Yes. Emma, is that you?
Free action. Get back, you idiots.
Free action to.
Fortitude saving throw from Bubs and Spice.
Yes. That is a 8.
An 8. Okay,
Yep.
that is going to be a failure.
17.
A 17. Okay. So Mitsa Pizza and Spice, you are only taking 4 points of sonic damage as this rattles and shrieks as it hisses from the pain. But no problem. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. You kind of stay up on the top of the cave. Echo. Your turn. Gibbs, you're on deck.
Echo is going to burst forward. Here, I can give you it. Going about right there, yeah. 'Cause that's
Okay.
about 50 feet. Yeah. And then they're
Punch the tail.
they're going to take out their hail pistol
Okay.
that they got from Terra Matter. And they're going to supercharge it.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're going to kind of like, I guess they're just going to like extra pump the weapon. I don't know what you have to do to supercharge a hail pistol.
It's like a super soaker. You're just
Yeah, pump it.
no problem. So yeah, you concentrate the elements of your inorganic body that you use to contact the mechanical components here, and as you use the electromagnetic fields to almost supercharge this ammunition, it begins to glow and almost vibrate in your hand. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Oh, shit.
This is how it always happens.
Echo just does like
It's a 16.
super fast.
That
run
is
in
going to be a
place.
miss. And so as you have this almost vibrating pistol in your hand,
Is the
you
fact that
press
it's
the trigger.
staggered? Does that affect it?
No, so staggered, I'll tell you what staggered does. Staggered makes the worm, it can only do a single move action or standard action each
Oh,
round,
on
and it
its
can't take
turn.
reactions, but it can use swift actions as normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is staggered, however, that doesn't really do anything
No.
to it in this regard. And that shot, as it vibrates in your hand, it just fires wide. You're unable to control it. It was a powerful shot, but off and into the sand.
I feel as though this always happens to me.
Anything else, Echo?
Sadly, no.
Okay, that is your turn, Echo. You stand and now stare at this tail, just the tip already taller than you in front of you. But Gibbs, you are up. Bubs, you're on deck.
Do I think that my hurl force disc might be able to hit all of the elements of the worm?
You would imagine this is one creature, and so probably not.
Yeah, but it's one big creature, Mr. DM. So instead, I will. What I want to do is I'm gonna cast Wisp Ally.
Okay.
Because I believe that lets me track enemies. Maybe not. I forget. Anyways, I just spit at it. I'm gonna. And it will be a.
What is the range on Wisp Ally?
It's 25 feet plus 5 feet for every 2 levels.
Okay, yeah, you're fine.
So, and I can hit it, and it affects one whole creature.
Just nub. The tail.
But it glows. The worm now glows in green, and it gets. Oh, the next person who attacks it, so that would be Bubs, will get a +2 circumstance bonus to their next
maybe
attack.
Bubs is going to try diplomacy.
Yeah.
But also, as you spit on the tail, this tiny amount of fluid just kind of, and Echo, you see it just like barely touches the tail, and then the spit just seems to almost suck into the
actually have
plates,
my hands
and it
full of spice,
runs
so I
down
can attack.
between each space in the scales. And so there is a very dull green glow that is coming from each plate. It looks almost like it's been underlit, but no problem. Anything else, Gibbs?
Oh, and I'm gonna move
Okay.
to. I'll move to there.
Okay, so you drop down into the sand and just scamper across these almost pits, and you make your way right in front of this tail. That is your turn, Gibbs?
Yes.
Alrighty, Bubs, it is your turn, and then the worm, and then Spice.
So, but that's the.
Bubs.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna guarded step back then.
Okay.
Are
So-
we in the
Float
air?
back.
Yeah, he can do this.
It's still
Yeah, you
guarded
can still
step.
do it.
Guarded
It's just
fly.
mechanically. It's just
Guarded
a,
float
yeah.
back.
So
Sky
you
step.
begin to float back, and this creature, already howling from the original impact from the cryo grenade, lunges out at you, and you have to do these maneuvers through the air to move. And so you only move about a foot back, but you
Yeah.
do so without.
I'm gonna
getting-
attack it first before I do the guard.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Actually, no, I can't because there's spaces in my hand. I forgot. Then I guess that will just be my turn.
Drop me,
You could
Bubbles.
hit the creature with Spice.
Yes.
Or
Spice? Why? Spice will just like.
hold on to your body.
Yeah, and your arms can be
Double
free.
the power of the punch, because you're
Yes.
spinning.
What if you
Spice
do
and
your
Spice is
hammer
punching.
and then I'll do my matching hammer and we can do this attack together?
Is that a possible thing that can
Do
happen?
you want to hold your attack until Spice makes it, and you guys can do like a?
Well,
combo.
well, if you hold your action,
Combo.
the worm is gonna go before.
Also
Yeah,
true.
we all know the
So-
worm's gonna
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. As much as I love that idea, I don't think that's actually a thing that we can do. So I think I'm just gonna guarded step back.
Okay, no problem.
That's
So you
fine.
guarded step back, holding on to Spice.
Or you, well, in that point,
not gonna
Anything else,
just
Bubs?
hold your action. Never mind.
No,
Anything
but what
else?
else am I gonna hold? Like, there's nothing else I can do to hold.
Anything else, Bubs?
That's it.
The DM just said you could attack.
So
Yeah, but you're in my
that
hand.
brings us to this creature's turn.
It takes an action to switch my hand.
It's staggered.
Okay.
So it can
So
only move. Or...
It kind of shifts in place, and as it can't really move, it is just going to attack you again, Bubs. It has a long reach,
Does it? Okay.
and so as it does,
With what arms, though?
it lunges out with its 100-foot-long torso. And it's going to make its attack.
Excuse me,
Bubs,
that's
that is going
mechanically
to
incorrect.
be a 29 to hit against your KAC.
That misses.
The misses?
Oh yeah.
29?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What?
I have 30.
1 second.
Jesus.
Wowza.
What?
Yeah.
Almost got like
Soldiers, they're good at stuff.
It's
Wow.
almost like my class is called Armor Storm.
Reaches up and just tries to slam down around you, and with that guarded step you have to bring up your arm and you have to almost like shove one of these like large craggy lips away, and it tries to bend over and like rip over your arm, but you're able to move away, no problem. That is the creature's turn. It can't move. It is still staggered. It seems to almost be trying to shake off this effect. But that brings us to you, Spice.
so it's gone at the
Spice is going to
It's
wriggle free from Bubbles.
Yeah, he'll let you go.
Okay.
So you drop down. How high are you?
I don't think I declared it, but we can say 20. How tall is this cavern?
This cavern's about 40 feet tall.
Yeah, okay, so I would probably want it to go like halfway.
Okay, 20
So
feet.
20 feet. And I want to say I guarded step down, so she probably takes a 15 feet fall.
So guarded step is 1 foot. of
5
movement.
feet.
5 feet of movement?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was 1, but okay.
No, it's 5 feet.
No problem. So,
It's basically disengage of Starfinder.
Spise, as you wriggle free, you look down, and it's a pretty long drop.
But it's sand.
It is sand. However, at a certain point, it doesn't really matter that much. And this is not like soft sand in a pit. There is sandstone and like sand scattered across it. So you hit solid ground pretty much going down. You do take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Can I
As
do
you-
an acrobatics check to...
If you
kind
want to
of-
use your swift action as an acrobatics
Nice.
check, you can.
Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah, go ahead. Make
Yes.
an acrobatics check.
Come on, big guy, don't let me down. It did. 15.
15.
That's not bad.
So you swing your head up and you manage to make your body almost straight to the ground so you can catch yourself. You get winded as you land, but you don't take any damage.
Nice.
Okay.
So no problem. That's your swift action.
Okay.
What's next?
Move towards the part of the worm that's sticking out of the ground, and I'm going to stab it with my knife.
You
Yeah,
get a
go
plus
ahead.
2 circumstance bonus because my wisp ally is highlighting the points between the scales.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
And that lasts
Wow.
for a while.
Rolling bad again. Here we go. It's
Not a dice roll big enough for that.
it's going to be a 10.
A 10? 10's going to be a
only get
miss.
plus 3?
You can see these
Oh, five.
glowing, gleaming lines, and as you try to stick your
so
knife
that's
in,
12.
Why would it be 12?
Because plus 2 for the circumstance bonus from me.
Oh, right.
Plus 5 plus 5.
12.
12, still a miss, unfortunately. You swing the knife down, and the plates just close. And the knife almost shatters as it hits. But you pull away, unable to do any damage. Anything else, Spice?
That's everything I can do.
Alrighty, that's everything you can do. That brings us to the top of the round, and Shade. Echo, you're on deck.
Shade's going to use move. I was going to say bonus action. A move action to swap to the laser rifle
Okay.
and try and hit this thing. Still staying there because I just used my move action and also.
Yeah.
Where is the waypoint marker at this moment?
So at this moment, it's exactly where you left it, kind of
Back here?
floating.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just want to check.
Thank you.
There's no electronic devices within 20 feet of me.
Would you like to use your action? To...
No, I do not.
Okay,
Because
My
that's
we're
what
in the
it takes.
communicator is there.
There's, I would say,
I
you
wanna
get the
use
sense
them,
that there are more passive electronic devices around than you were aware of coming in, but it would certainly take a little bit of time to
Yeah.
figure out where they're coming
Save that for after we
There you go.
kill
Within
this
20
thing.
feet, you said?
Yes, it's either 20 or 25. I don't know if I
Either
got
way,
an extra
echoes
5.
out the way.
Well, also I don't want to draw its attention toward my teammates, but I'm going to attack this thing.
Go for it.
Natural 20!
There you go. That's gonna be a hit.
Shades
So roll
rolling knots
damage, and if
tonight.
you have a crit effect, you can apply that as well.
Yes.
Heck
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. Hit him with a little cold hot, icy hot. Because
Aw.
that's going to be, it's taking extra burn damage from this.
That's good for you.
Or sorry, it's irradiated from this.
Nice. Right.
And it's going to get 11 points of whatever E is, energy. And fire damage. F is fire, right?
F is for
fire,
fire.
yes.
We all burn together.
So, yeah, so 11 points of E and F damage,
Okay.
and it is irradiated.
All right. So that burns through the scales. And as you look and you can see this little flicker of Gibbs's dying kind of wisp ally, you take a shot through the middles of the plates and your shot seems to almost disappear before there is a poof from beneath. And you see this fluid just gout into the sand, and the sand gets wet and seems to steam. It's a little bit of damage to it, no problem. Anything else? Shade.
That is it for me.
No problem. At the very end of your turn, as this thing seems to kind of writhe from that. It is going to shriek out, and Bubs, I need you to make a fortitude saving throw. And actually, Spice, you as well.
Is that a reaction?
It is not. It is a effect from being damaged.
Oh, it is no longer.
Nope. That is my Wisp
that's
Ballet.
okay,
That
okay.
lasts. I already took yours away.
Wow.
18.
18? No problem.
poopy
You're
again.
able to just,
Yeah.
as you see it begin to roar,
So,
you
5.
close your ears against it. You're able to avoid that
in there
damage.
too.
No problem. Echo, what would you like to do? Gibbs, you're on deck.
Echo's gonna reposition themselves so that they have a clearer shot of the head, so like move on the other side of that rock.
Okay.
A little bit closer to the rock.
Right there,
Thank you. Not that close. I don't want to hit Spice.
So you run back, and as the tail almost swings and hits you, you have to leap over top, and you plant one hand on the rock and slide over, almost like across a cop car hood. And then you land in the sand. You have your pistol drawn. If you want, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Different dice.
Probably a good idea.
Using the rainbow dice. That's so much better.
Wow.
It's a 27.
27 against.
I believe KAC. It's cryo and piercing damage.
Okay, yeah, that is going to be a hit.
Yay!
Go ahead and roll damage on that.
I need to get more dice. I did not expect to actually hit this game.
Yeah, right?
Go in and you don't expect to hit.
Yeah, that I feel like the rest of us don't hit good, and Bubbles
Set
hits
the
good.
time. Yeah.
A 7.
A 7, okay. You know what? Every little bit counts. And as you fire at this worm, there is another shriek. Bubs, Spice, if you can go ahead and make a fortitude saving throw, please.
Let me know when you guys are bleeding.
19 plus
Oh,
9.
19! Oh, I got rolled good!
Hey, look at
28.
that.
I got a 23.
The two of you now sensing a pattern. Every time this thing gets hit, it shrieks out and your ears start to hurt. You begin to react. Every time you see somebody shoot, you shrug away, you close your ears, whatever you can do to avoid the sound, but it does not affect you, no problem. Anything else, Echo?
That's it.
Okay. So Echo, you now on the other side of the rock, kind of tuck back in. That is your turn. That brings us to Gibbs. Bubs, you're on deck.
So my Wisp Ally stays for 6 rounds,
There
just
you
so you
go.
know. And that just exists.
And that's for me, right?
It's,
or no,
it's
for
for
Anybody.
anyone who the first person who attacks after my turn each round. So
Oh.
it couldn't be Bubs, but it's just whoever happens to be
Right,
there as long as it's before my next turn.
My
So I pick a scab on my back.
Gross.
Yeah, and I pull the scab, and as I pull it from my skin, it creates a whip
Okay.
of blood and scab.
Gross.
And I'm going to whip at the worm and cast Ego Whip, and it needs to make a will saving throw.
I hate myself so much for describing this, but you reach back, you hold on to this hunk of dried skin, and you pull in the same way that sometimes you catch a hangnail and it just goes and goes and goes. It's like this yanks a strip of dried hair and fur off your back, and you swing it out, and it seems to become almost a liquid and elastic. That's a will save?
Yes.
Jeez, this guy.
And it's the range is huge. It's like 50 feet or something stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's right in front of you, the tail part you can target, so.
Yeah, but my whip, the length of my whip is long.
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah.
the point
no
I'm
problem.
making.
Okay, and that is going to be a 17.
My DC for my first level spell is 16.
Ooh, that's, hate to see it.
A successful initial will save reduces the duration to 1 round, which means even if it saves, it gets a -2 penalty to intelligence, wisdom, charisma-based checks, its spell save DC, and will saving throws. In addition, the target is staggered for the duration.
Nice.
So for 5 rounds, because it would have been 6,
Yep.
it's suffering the consequence as I let go of the handle of the whip, and it just wraps around it and stacks with my wisp ally.
No problem. So already kind of glowing from the saliva that has seeped into it, now this strip of your skin and fur seems to stretch out and the little furs grow, and it seems to almost like grab into parts of it. And in the same way that those strange kind of slugs that have those, I can't remember what they are, they're like a fungus, but they can like in an instant just grow out all these little vein looking things. Your fur is doing that into its orifices, into the little wounds that your allies have made, and this creature doesn't seem to be able to get this off. It is staggered.
Yeah. So the staggering continues. This is a dope spell, even if it passes.
Anything else?
I will move. Can I skirt over the tail and go here?
Are you doing that?
Parkour! Yes.
Okay.
Just
no
to get
problem.
closer to my allies who are getting injured.
Yeah, you can do that.
Cool.
So that is your turn. That brings us to Bubs. The worm is on deck.
Are you bleeding?
No.
Uh,
I am going to attack it with my hammer.
I
Plus
forgot
2.
to add my weapon specialization, which is +3, so 10 points of damage.
Okay. let me add that and see if it changes anything. No,
Is it still
dead.
alive?
That
it's not
did it.
bloodied. Bubs?
Yeah. So I'm going to attack. I'm just going to do. What do you see? +2 of my attack. I'm going to do I'll just do a normal attack. I think,
Okay.
actually. That's a 13 plus, I believe, 11. So that is a 24.
24. Against?
I believe it's melee, so that'd be KAC.
That just hits.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage on that.
That is a 10 plus 13.
Okay. And so with this, for the first time, kind of cracking into it, you watch as some of the scales and things splinter away, and you can see this disgusting, almost pale flesh. It almost looks humanoid in ways.
Plus
underneath.
14.
Plus 14, okay. One more dip.
So it is a humanoid creature?
It is not a humanoid
Darn it.
creature. But certainly almost like mammalian flesh underneath the scales.
Darn it.
However, anything else, Bubs?
I'm going to take a guarded step back again.
Okay. Bubs and Spise make fortitude saving throws. As it begins to shriek with these rattling teeth.
Ooh,
12.
Okay.
that was my worst one yet. That's an 11.
11. For both of you, you are taking 5 points of sonic damage
Yes.
as it shrieks out, and this time you are unable to pull away. In the swirl of sand and blood and ichor and Gibbs's skin. But no problem. That is your turn, Bubs. That brings us to the worm. The worm is staggered, and so it has to choose between moving or what are the choices here?
It can either move or act. It can't do both, but it can take swift actions as normal,
Okay.
and it cannot react.
So it's going to go ahead and it's going to attack you, Bubs.
Nice.
Can it reach me?
Huh?
Yeah, it's 100 feet long.
Oh, wait, how much length does it have for its reach?
100
I
feet.
believe you've only gotten about 15 feet away from it, and so
Okay.
you know it's at least 15 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not 25 or
Radiate-
whatever.
I have to roll a d4 for how many rounds it's irradiated.
Okay, so do
I'm
that.
gonna do that.
That is a natural 20
Okay.
for a total
Wow.
of 30. Oh, sorry. Oh no, that's not 40. Is it 40? It might be about 40. It's above 30, certainly. So that's gonna hit you.
Okay, what is it?
A lot. Hang on.
-5 on both rolls.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
What do
10.
you mean on both rolls?
Well, don't you roll twice for crits?
No. You just double the dice.
Okay.
Yeah. But you wouldn't for resistance. You wouldn't reduce twice.
Okay.
You only reduce
It's
once.
still one
Okay.
attack.
It's per attack.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh.
Uh-oh, I don't like that look.
That is 40 points of piercing damage even.
Okay, so 35 then.
Yeah, 35 with 5 reduced. So as this lunges out, you can see it's uneven, it's a little bit unsteady, and after you hit it, it looks a little bit hurt. You can see elements of it kind of bruised and moving away. And so in this moment, it shrieks out, and you watch as the lips widen, the huge, almost pincer teeth that are interspaced between the lips widen out, and it tries to grab onto you. And these piercing pincers almost crush the bone within you.
Bubs' mind, as he's building himself up, he's going to think that he's done this situation before with the T-Rex and the other thing in the Childbreak Genetic Solution. So he's going to build him up and say, like sand in an hourglass, these are the days of his life.
Hate that. Not a sponsor. I don't even know what to say to that. Okay, no problem. You say that, and kind of over the howl of the wind and the shrieks of this worm, probably nobody hears it, but no problem.
Yeah.
Mute microphone.
That is your turn, Bubs?
Yeah.
Okay. That brings... No. Sorry. That is the worm, and that is your...
That was the worm's turn.
Yeah, that was the worm's turn. Sorry. So...
It's
it
irradiated
crit to
for
you?
this round, and then the next round I rolled a 2.
Okay, excellent.
So it takes, I don't know how much radiation damage
Oh
because
shit!
the weapon
I need to
doesn't
start
say.
tallying my wisps and not my debuffs.
I don't know what the level of
I
radiation
think you have 3
is.
levels of wisp left and 4 levels of staggered left.
Thank you.
Is what I have.
Thank you.
So, no problem. All of that stuff happens. You say some stuff about the sands of the hourglass.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Spice is going to telepathically scream.
Okay.
She's gonna kneel down, close her eyes, and clutch her antennas, and she's going to telepathically scream at this worm.
Okay. Is that a wisdom save? Or sorry, a will save?
I have to succeed at an intimidation check.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
Great.
You think you can scream? Well, I can scream louder.
Yeah, that's literally how she's feeling right now. Let's see. I've got good intimidation. So,
Anything you can scream, I can scream
15.
louder.
A 15. So what is that against?
Let's see. DC 15 plus. Damn. So plus 1 per target, plus 1.5 times the CR.
Oh
of
yeah,
the
that's a
target.
pretty
So-
short. So unfortunately, as you scream out with this psychic energy, this creature's mind, relatively simple, and you would imagine kind of lost on it, is that scream.
Darn it. So then that's my action. I'm going to, with my suit on, because I had the suit on for Cell June, I'm going to mute everything around me. Can I do that?
With the
The echo suit?
Yeah, with an environmental suit, can I mute the surroundings?
I don't think you can mute the surroundings.
Oh no, she put noise cancellation on.
yeah, well, then can I
All of a sudden,
put noise canceling headphones in?
I don't think you have any, but I appreciate the thought. No, you can't. It gets quieter. You can kind of do that, but it doesn't functionally. You're not going to avoid damage from this creature.
I think the scream causes your bones to vibrate.
Yes, it's
Well,
But you see that Gibbs standing where she is perfectly fine. Ears perked up and everything.
yeah. It's almost like getting a little further away might be a good idea. That being said, that is your turn, Spice.
well, no, I haven't used my movement.
Okay.
So I'll move away.
There you go.
I'll move towards, the tail.
And even as you get 5 feet further than where you were, that rattling intensity just dies down, and you feel a little safer back here.
Okay, it's fine.
Parkour.
Okay.
You have to slide across the tail as it moves,
Yeah,
but no problem.
do that cool thing where you slide over a snake as it's going.
Nice.
That is your turn, Spice. That brings us to the top of the round. Shade, what do you want to do? Echo, you're on deck.
How's it looking?
It's a worm.
It's looking wormy.
It's looking a little dry.
So since I'm good where
Not too
I
bad.
am, I'm just gonna go ahead and full. Oh wait, can I not? I can't use an unwieldy weapon as a full attack, so I guess I'm just gonna make a regular old attack. But I'm going to use my move action to activate my double tap.
Okay.
Nice.
What's double tap?
It's I fire twice essentially.
Yeah.
You can make
Okay.
Oh no, because I can't do it without a. It's got to be a small arm, so I'm just gonna make a regular old attack.
Do you have a small arm?
I do, but I would
It's
need to swap it
swap
out
Oh.
as a move action. A lot
Go
of
ahead and
move
make your
actions
attack roll.
that I need to do.
Yeah, move actions.
Another
are important.
natural 20!
Holy shit! Well, don't forget, I have
So
hurry,
stacking
so I
radiation
can grant
does
you
do
another move
stuff.
action.
Yeah.
Give me one second.
So it's gonna take. Ooh, that's a good damage roll. So
No, yeah.
it takes math.
It takes math.
12 points of plasma damage, which I think is what it technically is supposed to be, but it counts as energy and fire. But I think it's firing plasma. And then it's irradiated for another 4 rounds.
Nice.
Woo!
7 rounds.
What does
now for
radiation do?
Tip.
It takes a level. I don't know how much it is for this weapon because it doesn't say, but it continues to take irradiation levels, which eventually causes radiation poisoning, I think.
Yeah, and that's pretty serious. But you're talking not serious enough to probably matter in the course of the. Well, it depends. It depends because I mean, I
Every little bit counts. You said it, Joe.
No,
Every
no,
little
no,
bit
no.
counts.
The stacking irradiated that's a pretty big deal. It's
Yeah.
it's a very few of them do a lot.
Yeah.
So that's gonna we have to. Keep
Also,
an eye
it's
on that.
against a giant fucking worm, so it
Yes.
can probably metabolize it pretty quickly.
So no problem. That is your turn. Great critical hit. You do some damage to it, and for the
not a
first time,
cockroach.
you're beginning to see elements of blood and ichor run down the plates. It's starting to look a little bit hurt.
A little bit hurt. Great.
That is your turn, though. Shade. That
I'm
brings
gonna
us-
use my move action
Okay.
to just reposition myself at a more optimal angle so that I can hit both ends if I need to.
Okay, that's 35 feet away.
I didn't really do the math
I did.
from it from here to here,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So you have 35 feet of movement.
I've got 40 feet.
There you go. You're all set. So you land down on the very topmost platform of these almost columns of rock. It shakes a little bit. This is sandstone, but you're fine. That is your turn, Shade. That brings us to Echo. Gibbs, you're on deck.
Echo's going to kind of like shrink back against the rock that Gibbs is on and try to muffle their steps and use a stealth check to attempt a trick attack.
Okay.
You get an extra D4,
No.
right?
Oh.
Yeah, when you do a trick attack, I have it written down here. Whether you blah 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 blah. Oh no, additional D4 if you hit. Never mind.
Nope, not even gonna bother saying what that was.
Fair enough.
It was so low. But I still get to hit because we've learned things. And, we've learned that Echo is one of the most useless members of the team because that's a 15.
You know what? It's really suppressing fire, and probably on some level, this creature is detecting the large misses as they strike the stone behind.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm so fast.
Still.
That's literally all I can do.
Here we go.
I
So
can just
Echo,
whiff.
You
an
can
entire
move.
turn. No,
I
you
can't?
muffled your footsteps. You did 2 things.
Nice.
Gibbs, you're up. Bubs, you're on deck.
I know about cornered animals, and I know that at some point this creature is going to make the move to run instead of attack.
Perhaps.
Can I sense motive if that might be this round?
So you would be using your standard action to do sense motive?
Can I do it for cheaper, maybe as a swift action?
You would imagine, unless you have a feat, probably not.
No, but I have really good passive insight. Then fine. I hear the DM say no, and I say fine. I am going to instead chomp at its
There
tail.
you go. Give it a chomp. Your favorite.
Casting fatigue, because
Okay.
that's the only reason I would ever use a melee attack.
I was gonna say, by eating a 100-foot
Yes.
long
Yeah,
salmon,
yeah.
Oh, I'm tired
I'm
now.
gonna bite you back.
So I make a melee spell attack against its EAC.
Okay.
But I get to add my spellcasting modifier. So 5 plus 3 is 8 plus 7 is can you help me? 8 plus
5 plus 3 is 8 plus
7. 8 plus 7.
15.
15.
Plus.
That's it.
What, my
that it?
weapon?
Whisper.
Oh. Plus my
your modifier? For
No,
strength?
it's the first person
Yeah,
after Gibbs'
it doesn't.
turn.
I don't benefit ever from it. 15.
That's going to be a miss. You reach out and you bite, and your teeth almost splinter on the carapace. Yeah, it hurts. You have to pull away. You lick, just making sure. Only the chips that were there, so you're fine. Anything else, Gibbs?
That's standard action. You're good. She's good. You took no damage. Then yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Everyone's up and breathing, so I'm content.
There you go. That brings us to Bubs.
Okay.
Worms
so
on deck.
15 back and 15 in the air. I'm gonna do 15 back over here.
Okay.
Or no, 5 back, guarded step. But I'll still be able to attack it.
Okay. Yeah, you're about, what, 20 feet away?
From the
Oh, no,
mouth?
you're going to... Yeah, I see.
Oh, you're going for the mouth?
Yeah, the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Try to bisect it with your fist.
My hand.
Judo chop.
+2.
+2 as well. That is an 11 plus 11. That's 22 plus 2. 24.
Meets it, beats it.
Nice.
Wow, we have to get a
That's
24 to
EAC.
hit.
For KAC. It's got a very sturdy
That is a
carapace.
2 plus 14 is 16 damage.
16 points of damage. Nice. All right. So as you strike it again, this thing shrieks out in the rattle of those teeth. The rock around is like splintering, sand is falling away, but nobody close enough to the mouth for it to cause them any damage. Anything else, Bubs?
Bubs is gonna scream.
Then take this, you slimy little beast.
No problem. You yell that out across the
And
sand.
not slimy.
That is your turn. That brings us to the worm. So the worm is
Dry
staggered.
atmosphere.
Being staggered, it can only take a move or a standard action.
Bubs
You can only take a single move or standard action each round and can't take reactions, but can take swift actions as normal.
Okay. So you would watch as it howls and shrieks. Suddenly, it almost like stiffens, and for a second, Bubs, you're like, "Oh, maybe I killed it," and then it just and begins to burrow into the ground.
I get attack of opportunity.
Yeah, you do get an attack of opportunity.
I get
Absolutely.
one
I would
as
say
well?
you get one, Gibbs gets one, and Spise, if you have one. These are melee attacks of opportunities.
Could I grapple it?
Hell yeah.
If you really want to try, you certainly can. You would imagine a failure is less that you are going to not grapple it and more that you are going to grapple it.
Yeah.
I got a 15.
Okay.
That is a 17 plus 11. So that's a 27.
27
28.
hits, yes.
I take it a 15 doesn't.
That is not.
Like a 16?
That is going to be a miss as well.
9 plus 14. That is a 23.
23 points of damage?
Yes.
Damn. So you strike it, and it just goes...
Feel that.
It disappears beneath
feel
the
that.
sand. The sand back up in your face as the tail disappears.
Corner of the table,
and you
you
can
know.
feel the
Maxing out at 12.
You can't tell where it is, but it's still beneath you guys somewhere.
So my wisp ally can only move 60 feet per round.
Okay.
So if it has a speed faster than 60 feet, I think I would know if my wisp ally detaches.
It does not detach.
Nice. So I go, okay, we can catch it.
But as you sense your wisp ally, it's more that it's circling under you and less that it's using its full movement. You don't really know how far it can move, but
Okay.
your wisp ally is not detached.
Cool.
So that is its turn because it can't
completely
do anything
disappeared,
more.
or
As
is
far as,
there
yeah, it's
still-
gone. So,
So
it's
it's
off the
burrowed?
table as far as you could tell for the moment.
Does my combat tracking keep track?
How far
of
does it track? And does it need to keep line of sight?
It might be. No, it probably isn't based on line of sight because it doesn't necessarily have to be. I just happen to have
Does it have
eyeball
tremor sense?
exocortex.
Check and see.
Yeah, let me take a look.
Spice, you're up, and in this moment, the sand just up, and you look around. There is no worm, but you can feel it underneath your feet.
Okay, well then I guess I'll try to scream at it again.
Shoot the ground.
Well,
No,
no.
it loses it when it goes out.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna try to scream at it again.
If
Okay,
it
yeah.
passes, it's got a provision. You can't affect it, right?
What?
There are some spells like that. Yeah, there are some
Once
spells
you've
where.
targeted a creature with this feat, that foe is immune for this
Oh,
ability.
you're right.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Thank you for correcting me. Spice
So-
is going to.
Shoot in the ground randomly.
No, because I can't go through sand.
No, but like
Bullets can
it could attract it. But I'm not there in your brain.
What are you doing,
Bullets
Spice?
in the-
Spice is going to take the
depends how
hammer,
far.
I guess, swing it up, and then hit the ground to make tremors.
Okay, so you slam this hammer, and the sand all around you up into the air. That certainly makes tremors. That is your turn, Spise. That brings us to the top of the round. So at the moment, Shade, Echo, Gibbs, and Bubs, you are all before this worm, but there is no worm. So is there something that you would like to do prior to this worm going?
I would like to ready a spell.
Okay. Keeping in mind that you lose the spell should this worm not reemerge.
So
We
I
are very, very close right there.
Echo's probably going to run over to one of the rock formations.
Okay.
Probably about, there.
Okay.
Making sure to, like, not be stealthy for once. So,
Okay,
like,
sure.
hit the ground.
Would I be able to combat track when it comes up?
So you want to
I
kind
just
of
wanna-
prepare for it to come up so
I
that you
wanna-
can...
So that I can shoot it again.
You can't suddenly snap the combat tracking back on.
Okay.
So I believe you could prepare that or a shot.
Okay. Yeah, because that's a move action, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't be... Yeah, so I'm going to ready a shot when it
Okay, no problem. So you get
reemerges.
ready for it. Echo, you already moved. Bubs, are you doing anything?
I think
I'm
Bubs.
going to also swap out for pistol and gravity gun.
So as you kind of get ready and begin to track, you swap your weapons.
Bubs is just gonna get close to Spice and just
No, stay away. Let's stay separated.
I know, but Bubs.
Bubs has attachment issues.
Yes. Bubs
so.
definitely.
Stay in the air.
We got a stage 5 clinger here.
It's a feat.
It is a feat.
He's definitely a lot more needy on this planet.
Yeah.
It levels up as you do.
Yeah.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Can I come?
What are you doing, Bubs?
He is going to just. I guess he's just gonna move away then.
No problem.
Over here, and he's going to just ready an action to grab Spice if the worm tries to grab her.
Okay.
I am holding a second level spell, and also a correction. My ego whip is a second level spell as well, so I adjusted my spell slots.
Okay. Good to know.
I'm going to be.
FYI.
I believe I will be 10 feet on the ground and 5 feet away from Spice.
Okay.
I think that would be at least.
No problem. So, if the way that all of this shakes out, Bubs, you get ready.
Yep.
Gibbs, you hold your spell and get ready. So the person who makes the vibrations and everything last is going to be Echo. So Echo, you feel this rumble especially loud. And for a moment, the sand underneath you just kind of begins to fall before suddenly it rumbles louder and louder. And it is going to burst up, making attack from underneath.
When it bursts up, do I get my readied action? to
So
fire
it's going
at
to
it?
resolve its action, and then you guys can resolve yours before
Because
it's
my
round up.
action would have been to shoot the gravity gun, which is why I swapped it out.
Cool.
To try and...
It still
it's
gets
just
to do
having
its
fun.
thing
It's
first.
still going to
Oh,
do
yeah.
its thing.
Gotcha.
I don't know how far you're going to move a giant worm with a gravity gun, too.
I mean, it
31?
moves at 10 feet, so pull the head 10 feet.
Yeah.
Nice.
And? No reflex save?
No, this is an attack. No. Ooh. That sucks. That's max damage.
Jesus.
Yeah, so without a crit, that is going to be 30 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
As that bites into you with all of the force of all of its teeth, its big pincers, the lips wrap around the elements of your arms and almost pull you in. And at the same time, it's like the inorganic components of your body kind of bend. But that is its turn. And as it leaps up at the apex of its grasp, it's about 40 feet up in the air. If you want to make your attack roll, you can go ahead and make your attack roll with your gravity pistol.
Mine too.
Go ahead and make your
No,
spell.
I need you to make a will saving throw with a -2 penalty because of the ego whip.
Okay.
And
That is going to be a 17.
DC 7. Oh fuck, meets a
Meets a
beat.
beat.
Oh! But it still takes half damage.
Where's the... Sorry, I gotta... That's the... Wait, yeah. That's gonna be 21, and I think it's against KAC.
A 21 is a miss. And
Is that
as
against
you
KAC? It's the gravity pistol.
and
so-
as you fire, it's a miss either way. But as you fire, it just across the plates, and even if it hit, you look at this huge creature, and you would imagine
Trying to like
probably not going to do
rule of
a
cool,
whole
pull
lot.
the head towards a rock.
You're more likely to displace the sand on top of it than the move of the actual creature itself.
That'd be cool for an attack.
I
Yeah.
do half damage, and the spell I was holding
Yeah.
is Mind Thrust. So I give it a glut
Thrust
of.
its mind.
I thrust its mind, and I say, and it's telepathically, I'm like, "You're just a worm."
Back, all you're hearing is like, it's just like sounds.
Yeah.
There's no real knowledge or intelligence to this creature. But go ahead, make your attack roll. And that's
No, I did
It's
it.
feelings.
We already resolved that. So it just takes 10 damage.
Just clarifying, am
Yeah.
I grappled or is it?
You are not grappled. It's just
it
just
just
an
like
attack. Yeah.
sliced me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it kind of like spits you out and back down on the ground. And it is perfect. Yeah, that's great. That is its turn. It lands. Spice, what would you like to do?
I'm going to swift action, pull out that sleepless stick, move over to it, and kiss it on the tail to try to make it go to sleep.
Okay.
Bring your butt closer here.
You kiss it.
Yep.
Bubs
You
is
get
gonna,
the sense.
Bubs is gonna make Spice wash her mouth out by taking this off.
She does it. I
please.
love this sand. She like rubs her face in it.
Can you roll a D100, please, Spice?
Oh, no.
This is whether or not it's going to provoke an attack of opportunity, because
Oh no.
that's absurd.
It's a very sensitive area.
I love this.
Coming against some diseases.
98.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that's going to provoke an attack.
Oh, I was bad.
Absolutely.
What did I need to get a
Oh,
100?
Yeah, that sucks. That is going to be a 32 to hit.
Well, yeah, duh.
Wait, it's staggered. It can't take reactions.
You're right.
Yeah.
So with it being staggered, very fortunately, you go up and you just kiss it right on the tail. And as you pull away, and you can see just this little lipstick mark. You would imagine probably it needs to be, given that this is delivered with a kiss, it probably needs to be on like a mouth so that the effect can take place. And also,
So not on a
looking at
butthole?
this huge 100-foot long worm, probably a slightly smaller creature than
Sorry,
I
a
just want to point out
cloaca?
suppositories are
Damn, I
often
really
more
thought that was
effective than
gonna
oral
work.
transmissions.
This is
So
So Spice, if you want to climb on However, anything else, Spice?
No, that was all my actions.
There you go.
Everything in. I put everything in.
I use my action to kiss ass.
That is your turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Shade, you watch from your vantage point. You're ready. You pull out the gravity pistol.
No,
you
'cause
fire.
my-
Nothing happens.
Oh.
You feel like, oh man, that sucks. And you look and you watch a Spice
No,
kiss
because
the
my
butt
eye
of the
patch
worm.
keeps me from having to see that.
And
Bubs is
so
horrified.
you just feel slightly better. You're like, all right, at least I didn't do that. What would you like to do? Oh my god.
I'm going to reactivate my combat tracking with my move action.
Okay, so hesitantly you reactivate your combat tracker.
And then I'm going to shoot with the tri-laser.
I don't want to see this better, but I will.
That's going to be a dirty 20 to hit? Yeah, dirty 20.
That is a miss.
Okay.
So as you fire, just right off this carapace, too strong.
Swift action, I'm going to stow one of my items, the gravity gun,
Okay,
in preparation to pull out the rifle again.
no problem. There you go. You stow that. That is the end of your turn. That brings us to Echo. Gibbs, you're on deck.
Echo's going to kind of move around the worm a bit and like do that thing where they squish up against the side of the rock again to
Okay.
attempt a stealthy attack.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Okay, that's better. That's a 30.
Okay, so as you slide into this space, you get right into one of the shadows, tuck into a crevice. Make your attack roll. You feel pretty hidden.
Is that my that's for my trick attack?
Yes,
Okay.
that exceeds the DC.
Okay. Ooh, for once. Well, let's hope I attack here.
Because what is it? It's 15 plus.
what'd you do?
She rolled bad.
Oh, so you were stealthy, but you missed.
I am the knight, and the night is quiet.
What was that?
That's a 12.
Yeah. So you tuck in, and as you fire, you realize too late you don't really have line of sight on it from where you are, and so the shot goes wide, and you kind of readjust. But you know, if anybody had seen it, would have looked really cool. The problem with being so stealthy,
Shay totally saw.
too stealthy.
No, it's the eye patch. It's the eye patch.
Yeah, I pretend.
So anything else, Echo?
Got bad peripheral.
Echo dies inside.
Okay. So you continue to waste ammunition here in the canyon. That is your turn, Echo. That brings us to Gibbs. Bubs, you're on deck. Gibbs, you watch as just shots go off and into the sides of the rocks.
It's the only way that I know Echo's still alive. It's like the constant
Brutal.
missing. I'm feeling like I got a lot of spell slots. So I'm going to, I'll mind thrust it again. It gets a -2 penalty to its will saving throw, and I think this is my last round of Wisp Ally.
That is 21 minus 2, so 19.
Takes half damage.
There you go.
Doesn't matter how much it succeeds. It takes 10 damage again.
10 damage.
Yeah.
So at this point now,
It's 4d4 if I succeed, and 2d4 because I'm casting at 2nd level.
as you focus on this, there is this kind of tuff, and you can finally see like this bulbous kind of, and it seems like that does a pretty good amount of damage. This creature now all of a sudden kind of wobbles, and you can see, whereas before it was like striking very, very keenly, now it seems a little bit unsteady, a little bit uncertain, and you feel like it's starting to finally get a little hurt.
I
else,
feel
Gibbs?
inspired by Spise and the kissing of this butthole. So I'm gonna hop off my perch for the first time.
Okay.
So good.
And I want to. Can I hold it here? Can I use my movement to hold its tail? Not like grapple it, just hold it.
Yeah, you
Gibbs
can
just wants
lightly
to
hold
pet
on
it.
to it. Sure. So
Gibbs
you
has found a pet.
run up to it and like
We can bring it to the ship.
foot over foot, you jump and kind of lean on it, and you just hug it.
Nice.
And you're hugging the tail of this 100-foot long sandworm.
So that's where I'm perched now, is
Okay,
the
no
tip
problem.
of the tail.
So you perch up there. That is your turn. Gibbs, Bubs, it is your turn, and you can see Spice is behind the tail. She pulls back after kissing it. You see Gibbs perched up now on top of the tail. What do you want to do?
He sees that little bulbous kind of wound in its head, right?
Yes, you can see it's almost like there's an internal wound bubbling
Yeah.
up, and it hasn't broken the scales or the skin yet.
Yeah, see, in Bub's mind, he knew it was slimy because he has a slime sense.
Sure.
Bubs, this is your last round of +2 from me.
Okay, yep. That is a 3 plus 11, 15 plus 2, 20, 16, I believe.
17.
2016?
17.
17. 17 is a miss.
Yep.
And so as you swing, trying to hit this single small knot in the head,
Yeah.
it is too small of a target. You hit the plates and it just kind of skids the hammer off.
Yeah, that's my turn.
No problem. So you readjust. It is now the worm's turn. And with you in range,
Yep.
it's just going to make an attack.
Let's do it.
Nom 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 nom.
That's off the table. That's not that good. That is going to be I can do math. 22.
Nope.
And so as it reaches out, you can see it's like really unsteady, and as it kind of swings, the head goes wide and slams into the side of the cavern. Dust falls down. It straightens itself back up, but that's all it can do. Is it is still staggered for 2 more rounds. And so
2 more rounds.
I believe
you
so.
get 1 more round of Wisp Ally.
you have.
Does it actually do that?
I have it marked that Wisp
That
Ally is
doesn't
1
move.
less. than-
Yes.
Still there.
So there's 1 round left on the what's it called?
Wisp
Staggered,
Ally?
which means that I have Wisp Ally having ended this
Okay.
round.
Yes. Then that's true. That's
Yeah.
right. Exactly.
So no problem.
Cool.
It is still staggered. However, that is the end of its turn. Spice, you pull back. The kiss, very little effect. What would you like to do?
But now I'm there, right next to you. Also.
Cool. I'm gonna
Yeah, just kiss her with a poison lipstick.
not do that. She goes, fuck, I really thought that was gonna work. I'm gonna
I think why.
stab it right in the tip of its tail
Yeah,
with my survival knife.
go for it. Make an attack roll.
Wow, natural 1, guys! I went
Nice.
3, 2, 1.
So as you swing, this time, unfortunately, you don't quite see Gibbs hanging on to the other side. Can you go ahead and roll damage on that?
Okay. Okay. 7.
Gibbs, you take 3 points of piercing damage as all of a sudden Spice from the other side takes this knife and just rakes it across your knuckles.
It's like the
trying
only-
to stab into it. Yeah, just right
The only
there.
damage I get this round is from Spise. I'm like, meh.
But no problem. That
Fuck!
that happens.
Hurry, Gibbs!
That is Spice's turn. Anything else?
No, I guess I'm gonna also hold the other side of the tail and just go. I guess this is where
Can
I
we
am
hold
now.
each other's hands around the tail?
You guys are Eiffel Towering
Yes.
100-foot sandworm. Okay.
Yes.
First, you do the foreplay with a kiss,
Yeah.
and then you move to the Eiffel Tower.
So you guys just high five on the opposite sides of this tail, aware of the fact that this is probably going to swing and swipe you guys at some point. But
Or
opportunity.
if it leaves,
Yeah.
we'll be leaving with it.
Shade, as you begin your turn, you look down and you can see Spice and Gibbs embracing around the tail. These creatures look kind of rough. What would you like to do?
Gonna try to kill it again. Yeah, I'm gonna swap out the guns with the move and swift action, holster,
Yep.
pull out, all that,
No problem.
and I'm gonna attack it. That's gonna miss.
So you pull out the rifle, but all of this shifting of weapons, you've juggled your weapons like 4 times now. It's just making it hard to
Distracted by
fire.
the butthole kissing.
You go to fire and suddenly it's like you see like Spice and this tail and it's like slow motion, like
We
the pink
all
background.
know Spice is a freak.
Anyhow,
You just know.
no, everybody knows. Yeah, I think it's been well
heard it,
established.
yeah. We've heard it for 12 days.
That is
at the
true.
very
That
least.
brings us to Echo. Gibbs, you are on deck. Echo, all of the stuff that just happened, you saw, whether you want to or not.
Echo's upset. Player is going to try a different thing. Maybe this will
Okay.
make my luck better. The rainbow dice is going to be the stealth check,
Okay.
and the echo dice, which is this shiny one right here, is going to be my attack roll.
Yee.
Okay, Echo.
And that's
It's
to
gonna
keep me
work.
honest.
Yep, make your stealth check.
No.
Okay, so well, I don't get my sneak attack because
need a larger
that is a
trash
22, and I doubt that the CR is 2.
No, it's not. Sorry, I thought you were talking about KSC for a second. I was like, well, it's closer. But no.
But I do get to use my weapon because that is a 25.
That is going to
Nice.
be it. Yeah.
So I get to do something this
Hey,
round.
Echo did something.
Echo's doing something, guys. That's 13 points of cryo and piercing
you killed
damage.
13 points of cryo and piercing
good.
damage. That's not bad.
It's not terrible,
And
guys.
so as you fire, and this little element of hail forms at the tip of the pistol and darts out, it strikes into this already like bubbling hot part that the magma hammer from Bubs left almost a searing scar. And in that, as they touch, there's this as it just pops. And it vaporizes and causes this gaping wound in the side.
I don't like that
This
word.
creature hisses out, but it's still up. Anything else, Echo?
That's all from Echo. Hold. Oh no, I didn't use my trick attack. It's fine. We're good.
There you go. That is your turn, Echo. Gibbs. You can see this creature hissing and like writhing back and forth. It's looking pretty bad.
Great.
What would you like to do?
Ego Whip's still up, so it needs to make a will saving throw at the 2nd level DC.
That's pretty good. That's
me
going to
honest.
be a 24.
Yeah, okay. You give me this ability crystal, and then you're like, yeah, but it can pass the wills. Did it with a -2? It's 22.
Yeah, 22.
2 damage.
2 points of damage.
Oh wait, hold on.
Watch it kill us
Wait.
with the 2 damage.
So 9. Hold on. It doesn't matter. 2 damage. We'll take 2
Yeah.
damage.
So 2 points of damage. You like concentrate, and as you you will your skin to tighten within it somewhere, the skin just kind of tightens somewhere and maybe does some damage. Although you don't see any evidence of it.
That was a waste of a 2nd spell slot.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
Just gonna hug this tail closer.
Okay, you hug it tighter. Bubs. Looking down, you can see this creature like thrashing around.
Oh.
Spice and Gibbs both kind of holding on as the tail is now like waving them
Yeah.
a little bit around.
Because I did damage, does someone take damage because I did damage?
No, nobody's within 5 feet of the face.
Okay.
That's the whole thing. Or 10 feet of the face.
I'm going to be springing my hand like around and around and around.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna try to do like a big old bang, like you're trying to hit a gong,
Okay.
right in the side. And that is a
not
4
good.
again. Wow.
So you swing it around and around and around, and as you're about to do this like Thor upswing of the
Yeah.
hammer, it kind of you lose it for a second, and you're like, what? And you have to just your jetpack's up and grab onto it. You're not able to do an attack really, but anything else, Bubs?
That's it. I did a standard attack.
Fantastic. And in this moment, with your like standard attack, it is going to, if you could just turn it so it's facing you, Bubs.
Yeah.
It is going to make an attack against you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I should have, mathematically, I should have made the reach only 10 feet, or I should have made the scream 15 so that it matched. I hate when I make like all these different radiuses.
Radii.
All right, that is going to be pretty good. That is a well above a 30 to hit.
Okay. Yep.
So,
Like a
not bad.
78.
You are going to be taking 26 points of piercing damage.
-5. So
-5. 21 points of piercing damage as it bites into you, you having just kind of missed just barely. But in this moment, as you are grappled with it and you like have to hold on to the two big teeth, the interior mouth almost distends and begins to bite on your chest as you are holding the big teeth open. You can feel it begin to like chew away at the armor on your chest. It is still up. That is the worm's turn, however. Spice, it is your turn, and as you barely hug on to this tail, Gibbs on the other side, you turn and look, and Bubs is like holding the mouth open, this whole creature trying to swallow him.
And I flash back all the memories of Bubs always being swallowed by
all the
things.
time, all
I'm
the
like, God damn it.
Spice turns over her shoulder and she goes, "You got this, baby!" Like wipes the dirt and the sand and the grossness off of her lips, and she winks for an inspiring boost of 14 stamina points.
For anybody else who looked, this would be like the Ren and Stimpy extreme close-up, where it's like snot and like pimples all the hairs. But for you, it's just this glistening angel through the desert storm.
Too
And
much
so no
description.
problem. You're inspired.
Bub sees love.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, definitely. Love is conquering all.
Love
here.
is blind, they
Shade,
say.
from your standpoint, you hear but do not see Spice. What would you like to do? The worm is like almost consuming Bubs. Bubs is just holding it back right now.
Does Bubs? Well, actually, does this count as within 30 feet of it for me?
Yeah, the body is, yeah.
Okay. I'm wondering if my distracting hack works on it.
What?
Because I can hack a computer within 30 feet of the enemy, and it can be like a comm or something.
It's a computer worm.
So if you would like, you can use your action. You can if you are attempting to do this,
Exocortex's
Yes.
standard action.
Sure. Make a computer's check if you would like to try. There is certainly technology somewhere embedded within this creature.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
It can't be something that's like it can't be Echo's eyes, for example, like cybernetics or implants.
Right.
So just
He's
no.
saying like he'd swallow a computer.
Right.
Perhaps.
All right, that's gonna be a 26.
A 26. Okay. With the computerized systems engaged, you sense that there are multiple pieces of tech within this. But the thing that you really kind of focus in on, there's a tiny little, same size as a cred drive. But you've seen these before. This is a software imp. And so in this moment, you activate an element of it, and you can almost feel within this little and then this worm kind of bubbles, and for a moment, Bubs, you feel it kind of draw back as if it feels something weird, and you would imagine it's distracted.
Cool. So that's basically a feint action.
Yeah.
So now it's
Make it attack.
flat-footed, and I'm gonna attack it.
Nice.
That's gonna be 19 plus. That's a 20. Sorry, 32 to hit.
That hits, yeah. absolutely.
Wowza!
Nice.
For a hit?
Yeah. And then that's gonna be nice. Max damage is 14 plasma.
Tell us how it happens.
Nice.
As Bubs is holding these teeth and this worm is like roaring and about to consume him, and Spice and Gibbs are holding onto the tail, tell us how it happens.
So like using the combat tracking that I've had on, locating where that bulbous thing was, sort of like beep, 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 hones in on it, and I just fire through, and I imagine that it probably goes through it and then comes out basically like over Bub's shoulder, and the thing just kind of like splurts.
So Bubs, as you're holding it, you can see it's like roaring and getting closer and closer. And as you're just about to kind of fail,
Falls to the side.
There's just this right through the throat. And you can see daylight, and you can see just like this muzzle. And as like the camera zooms out, you would see like the gun, and then Shade's arm, and then Shade, like the eye just peering through the hole before the whole creature
Nice.
into the sand.
Now it boom.
And it is
Spise
dead.
is going to go over and cut out some of its teeth.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the mouth and just try to, because I'm almost basically in the mouth at this point. I'm gonna try to just.
Before
go
you
in
do
there
that,
and try
I
to
will
grab some
Shade is
take
holstering
6
his
points. You
rifle
take 6
and
points of healing
Okay.
So
because I
okay.
can do that for free.
So Gibbs, yeah, your healing starts first. No problem.
Keep going.
Spice, go make a survival check if you want to try to hack out some of its teeth.
Okay, I have.
Would I be able to use my diligent searcher inside of the worm?
Reduce
It takes
live
20,
off the land.
but
Okay,
you
now just
could.
perception.
And what I would say is, I mean, inside means you're gonna prop the mouth open and be like, "All right, guys, come get me in a little bit," and then like walk in, which you can do.
I was
It's
going to say
huge.
Echo would probably help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
Bubs.
they-
No, Bubs
they
has
know
been in
that-
a couple of stomachs before, and I feel
Wait,
like at this
hold
point
on.
he's used
1
to
second. Can I make a life sciences check to see if I can identify on the length where the tummy might, like the stomach is?
Yeah, make a life
So then I
sciences
could just
check.
cut it instead of walking through the whole thing, you
Yeah.
know? Alright.
What was your check, Spice?
I have. I'd like to argue. Argue is the wrong word. So can I make this a survival check to live off the land?
I would,
Because-
if you would like to advocate for that, yes, you absolutely could.
So when you're out in the wild, sometimes you have to do that thing where you kill a giant animal and live inside of it.
Yeah, of
Are
course.
you
For
using
war?
the Tauntaun
Are you
using the
using-
Han
Yes.
Solo defense?
Yes. Exactly that. So I'm gonna use that method to cut it open and then get some of the teeth from the inside.
Okay. So you don't even need to roll. I'll say as people are taking some time to like begin to prop open the mouth and Bubs is like lubing himself up, you can definitely take some time to
I think
like
I just
pry
go in
out
it.
some teeth.
Wait, can I identify where the tummy is with my
I'm already in there.
23?
Okay. So as you hear this and you
Spice
see
is, like,
Bubs'
cutting.
feet just like disappear into the mouth. You like walk along the length and your hand goes along this like really warm creature. And eventually, about midway through, you identify that there are 3 stomachs, and they wrap kind of corkscrewing around the spine. Very unusual anatomy, similar to octopi actually. And so you get the sense like roughly midway through, Bubs, you climb into this creature.
Yeah.
And you're climbing for a while. It's tight.
He's used
you
to
have to like
this.
move like this elements of tongue.
Yeah.
You stretch open the interior mouth and have to crawl past the teeth.
I feel like he
there.
has a specific mantra just for being inside.
Oh,
of
I'm sure.
stomachs.
Yeah. Just keep
I
swimming.
love that you're doing this willingly.
I know he like won't touch gross
Yeah.
toilet seats, but absolutely I'll climb into a monster. Gibbs, while he's like still maybe only 10 feet through this beast, you just take your blade and stick it in and slide it down the torso, and it splits open. You can see the interior like a cross section of fat and muscle and scale, but on the inside, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Nice. And Gibbs is going to try and like milk the stomachs to move all the mass that is in the stomachs like out of the esophagus and just like dump it all out onto the ground.
Yeah.
Would you want medicine?
No.
Investigation doesn't exist.
Sorry. Perception.
Perception? 13 plus 14 is 27.
Okay. So, Bubs, you're moving.
Yeah. And he's thinking, oh,
I'm so brave. I'm conquering this fear.
And as you move, it's like there's a weird sense that you've been here before.
Yeah.
It's like a narrow passageway. It's damp.
he's very scared while doing this too.
Sure. You make your way through, and suddenly you feel as your arm goes out, there's space and like a little bit of cool air, and you're like, oh god. And so suddenly, as you are milking this like part of the stomach, suddenly the hand bursts out and you squeeze Bubs out the torso of this creature. Bubs, you emerge following a pair of Vesk in appearance cybernetic arms.
Guys, I found them.
Armor is dimpled. They like hit the ground, then you hit the ground, and you're like, guys, I found them. But yeah, no problem. The armor is dimpled to form almost this like plating. The upper arm, however, has exposed cryo tanks attached to a battery that is somewhat degraded at this point.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I found anything else?
Yeah, I'm looking for other things that aren't
So
bubs.
you hold this up. You are a little distracted by being covered in goo, and also I found this. Gibbs, in addition to that, with your check, you find a disc-shaped device that has some kind of multi-directional rollers on them. Looks like something that you slide across the ground. And I would say that's probably all you could tell right off the bat. You find a little cred stick, maybe, although it doesn't look like it plugs into anything like that. Looks like it would plug into a computer, maybe. And then you also find 2 empty backpacks, although, interestingly, as you open them up, they do seem to be enhanced in some ways. These are Starfinder backpacks. Ooh. They are a little bit bigger, and they do have the ability to, when you reach into them, you can pull out whatever you're looking for.
Is this a bag of holding equivalent?
This
or
is a Starfinder backpack.
Oh.
It is like closer to the handy haversack than a bag of holding.
Holy shit, I think of all the junk that I love to store and how much junk I can store into these backpacks. I find 2 of them.
Yeah.
Cool. I dumped the other one because I only really need 1. And I have no qualms about the grossness of this situation. Can I go through is that from all 3 stomachs? Can I...
That's through, I would say, through one of them. The one that Bubs was in, the one that you were really looking for, like this technological device with that. Cool. But if you really want to, like, peer through it.
I was going to say, Echo would help and take 20 and just like look through this thing's stomach contents.
Because we also know that those guys were here and that we're desperate for supplies.
Yeah.
And we were bad at bargaining.
So you guys are going to take 20 to look through this. And as a group...
Shade is not gonna help look through this thing.
I chuck you the
will
cred
keep
stick
looking as
looking
well.
thing that I can't use because it plugs
And
in.
you instantly
Shade
know
is sitting
Shade.
up here smoking a cigarette
then I
and
don't
just
chuck it.
watching this all happen.
Echo's right there.
Yeah.
Echo, this is a software imp, a tier 3 software imp, in fact. This generally is loaded onto like a memory stick similar to this. It is isolated from any other system. And when you load this onto a computer, it has the ability to potentially render that unuseful or unusable, causing random glitches and things like that, while keeping itself hidden in order to make somebody think that it is a malfunctioning piece of equipment or waste time trying to repair it. There's a number of functions that you could use it for.
Dope.
Can I see if I found anything?
So you give
We're all taking 20,
everybody together taking 20. Additionally would yield an absolute compass, Mark 2. This is something where once a day, I believe, you could load a biological sample into. And it works very similar, excuse me, to Gibbs's locate creature spell.
Nice.
You find a can of biocide. This is a poison. And this is a biocide that is specifically geared towards drow. You find a set of camping gear. You find a climate control unit. You find an inferno knife.
Inferno knife?
Yeah.
Oh.
You find a magnoscope, which is like a one-handed. You don't need to use a hand or an action to use a binoculars, essentially. You find a tactical rotating pistol.
What's that?
I believe it is a level 5 pistol. It's similar to a revolver,
Okay.
a little bit less fancy. And that is what you find.
Can you tell me what was between camping gear and inferno knife?
Climate control unit.
I dump it all out, and in very Gibbs fashion, want one of the fancy backpacks and the rolling device, but we'll wait until we make a decision as a group.
The what? The rolling device?
The disc-shaped device that looks like a 3. Can I take a minute to identify what it is?
Yeah. What I would say is you roll it around, you bite it a couple times, and you get the sense that this is some kind of a trap. You like quickly take your teeth off of it, and you realize this is something where if you were to press this down and then roll it, wherever it comes to a stop, it's going to emit a cone of high-intensity lasers. And this is almost like a laser cage or a trap.
Oh.
Like a grenade that shoots shrapnel,
It
but the
is
shrapnel
a
is
proton
lasers.
snare Mark II.
Oh, nice.
Realizing what it is also means I realize that I don't want it, and instead start to shuffle over to the absolute compass.
Yeah. It is a little wrist-mounted device that has a small tray in it, and you can put something in. And yeah, it's a Starfinder Absolute Compass Mark II.
Nice.
How does that work?
I mean, in terms of like science, it takes apart a biological organism or some piece of a biological organism, and then using the trace elements of DNA, it looks
Okay, so you
for
need
just,
a
yeah,
part of their body. Okay.
yeah. It needs to be hair, tissue sample, something like that.
DNA.
In this moment, you all stand in this space, the worm dead and kind of steaming as you have cut through elements of the stomachs, and Bubs, you covered in guts.
Yeah.
But you do have Seljun Deme's bionic arms.
Congrats, team. We did it.
This absolute compass is a larger improvement because it's not limited by the fact you have to be on the same planet.
Correct.
It's absolute.
But you
Like-
also have to have a biological component, though. That's the
No,
problem.
that's a different item.
Yeah.
No, that is
Yeah,
it.
no,
That
yeah.
is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to buy, like, you know,
So it's an improvement, but also it's
Right.
it's,
It's
weighted.
different.
Yeah.
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 But it also means I don't use a spell slot. So,
Yeah, that's good too.
That's the big thing.
yeah, I sort of slide one of the backpacks in this compass.
You can have that, Gibbs.
Ah, yes. I take another 20 and empty out all of my bullshit from my vest, and I'm gonna load it into this backpack.
That's at least 25.
Okay.
Yeah, you do that.
Echo.
You take time. At this point, that does mean that you are taking about an hour.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get us to move before we actually take
Echo's,
45 minutes
Echo
to do
started
all this
to like
stuff.
reach their hands out towards the inferno knife and the rotating pistol to see if
Oh,
anyone stops
Spise
them.
is gonna slap your hands and go, I'll take one, you take one. You can pick first.
Just
Bubs?
take everything.
Two operatives over here.
Bubs will just take whatever is left because he's going to try to sell
Just get
so
everything.
he can buy something for.
Sure.
He really wants that sinister star knife
I kick
or star
you
blade, whatever knife.
the
thing.
snare, the can of biocide. Who wants?
I'm taking.
Oh,
all of
obviously I'm gonna take the drow thing.
Okay.
Who's got
I'll
the
take it out.
arms right now? Did you put them on the ground?
it. Yeah, they're still there.
I'm gonna pick up the arms and start walking back.
Yeah. These are high-end bionic arms.
So it's a snare. what else?
These are actually,
So
as
sorry,
you
there's a
look at them,
snare,
Shade,
Cred stick.
these are weaponized prosthetics, Mark II. And as you really examine them, they seem to have integrated into the
send you a
left
picture.
arm a cryo
I
spike,
took
a,
the camping gear then.
residential
I
cryo
don't want to
spike,
sell it.
which is a fairly powerful military-grade cryogenic weapon.
I've been using melee more, but
So, with all of your newfound gear, are you returning to Seljun Deme?
yes.
Yeah, can the
I've
Wayfinder bring us the way back?
No, but you can follow your footsteps in the sand.
Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say.
Right. So nice. Can I take a moment before we leave this canyon? Is there anyone who is watching or anything else disrupted?
Make a perception check.
Cocked. Oh, 16. 16 plus 13, 29.
You look around, and as far as you can tell, taking a good, sense, maybe like 5 minutes as everybody else is like wrapping up, you don't see anything. You don't see any people. You don't see any people up on the ridge line that's about 20 feet up. You don't see anybody deeper into this cave. And that cave seems to disappear into like a sandy pit. And so you'd imagine it's not like there's living creatures down there.
Guys, you know what this means? We accomplished a goal as a team. We didn't draw attention, and we're gonna gain something from this. We did fantastic.
He's gonna be so proud of us.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And I take a quick minute to take a selfie with the dead body and all the stomach guts and the 5 of us.
Okay.
Shade's not there.
Shade's not there.
Yeah.
The 4 of us because Shade's a bitch.
Okay. You try your hardest to like get Shade as he's walking away in the background, but it's tough.
Somehow one of Echo's eyes is blinked off. They're blinking.
Bob's just covered in guts.
Yeah, like gleaming in the very low light here. But because it is 9:25 and a good place to stop for this evening, this is where we're going to call it for this evening. Thank you guys for hanging out with us for this episode of Starfinder.
This episode
you guys
of Dune.
killed a huge worm.
Nice.
Was it
It took
a
a
huge,
while.
gigantic worm?
It is a huge.
I did like
gigantic
at least
worm,
60 or 80.
Was it a huge ass worm? Although I think we can ask Spice that.
I
How
can
was the
vouch
ass?
for the huge ass.
It is huge.
There's medication for that.
So thank you for hanging out with us for this session of Starfinder. We'll be back next week for session 40 of
Damn.
Mosaic Team 5. Yeah. But if you can't wait that long, you can join us tomorrow for session 2 of Adventures in Alberon, Ports of Everest. Our very Feywild heavy D&D 5e campaign. It takes place 10 years after the end of our first. However, if we can't see you, we'll see you next week. Please stay safe. It is crazy out there. See you then.
Pew, 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 pew,
Pew pew.